Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Miggs, joined, as always, by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapachet, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and listening to us ramble about the inner workings of professional boxing and stuff that happens on the outside. Because sometimes that's all we got to talk about is what happens on the outside of the ring, because there's no freaking boxing inside the ring. The way we've kind of had this slight drought, but of course it's going to be broken here. We are entering the second weekend of September. Today is September 8th, Sunday. That means we are a little under a week away from the biggest, probably the biggest fight at the end of the card, of the second half of the card of the calendar. I mean, of the year 2024, Canelo versus Berlanga. Trust me, we're going to be talking about that fight and that card in its entirety here later on in the show. So stay tuned for that. Of course, we're going to most likely end the show for that. With that, but many other things we want to talk about. Things, again, as I mentioned, happening outside of the ring, but a couple of funny things that happen inside. Before we get into all that stuff, because we got plenty to talk about. Andrew, what's going on, dude? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Miguel? How am I doing? You know, I was getting used to the losing. It's opening week, Miguel. NFL.
Does it open new wounds?
We
Is that
had
what happened?
we had high hopes. Oh, did we have high hopes? We had the,
Mm.
the, the right coach for the job, the rah-rah guy, the guy who's going to get our defense,
Mm.
take us to the promised land. We got we got fucking beat down in the second half. It wasn't pretty. They ran all over us. The Raiders looked the same as they did in Oakland.
Mm.
They look the same in Las Vegas. Looks like it's gonna be another long season. I hope not.
It's
But
just the
the
first week, right?
coach,
I mean, it's just the first week.
yes, but Miguel, he had some bad coaching decisions in the preseason where I thought every once in a while you get your chance to shine, even when you're playing with your rooks.
Mhm.
Look, this is a professional sport, right? A win is a win. Sometimes you got to get your guys just to do it, right? Doesn't matter who's doing it. Just get someone to fucking win, right? Make the right decision to get your team in the best position to win this game. I seen him lack those decision-making skills in the preseason. Where I was like, wait a minute, now there's some red flags going up here,
Mhm.
and it carried into the first game already of this season. There are some things that our coach is doing that makes me question his IQ truly as a coach for the football game. As a player, he's probably great. You want to lift weights? He's probably there at 5 in the morning to lift weights. Oh, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? That guy.
Mhm.
That's cool, but we don't need that guy. We need the
Yeah.
guy that
We
can
need, we
go
need
to the,
this guy. This guy.
yeah,
This
you got
guy.
to go to the chalkboard, or you got to know when to call a challenge.
Mm.
You know, you got to know momentum swings, right?
Mm.
Do I want to go on a fourth down right now?
Is this the first season with this new coach? Is it?
Last year he came in half season,
Oh, okay.
right? He came in mid season, I guess is a better way of saying it.
Mm. Mm.
And got the guys to play good, so we were all like, yeah, right. Yeah, he beat the Chiefs. That was a huge
Mm.
game for him on Christmas. So we were all excited that, and he's a defensive guy. Raiders go
Mm.
offense way too much. Now we got a defensive guy. Defense looked good. We went out and hired one of the best defensive linemen in the free agent market,
Mm.
right? To put him with Crosby. Defense totally wasn't the issue today, but they fell apart at the end,
Mm.
right? Yeah, you didn't want to see that. It started looking bad at the end, even though it was the offense's fault.
Mm.
Most of the game, it's the offense's fault why we weren't in a better position to win at the end, and then the defense was like, what the fuck? I mean, I think there was like 3 fumbles due to missed field goal,
Oh, shit.
right? So
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't
when
watch it.
yeah, so when your defense does good, gets off the field, and then you guys come on and fumble the ball,
Yeah.
they're back on the field. They give up a big play. Is it really their problem? Yeah, it is. But you know what I mean. It's catch-22 for them. No win situation really. So fuck them. Fucking Raiders. It's my son, bro.
Uh,
I told you guys about he's already getting harassed at school. Did I
what?
bring this up at the show?
No, get already. What do you mean already getting harassed? What the hell?
The Raiders, bro. It was the Raiders.
Well,
You know the Raiders. You know the Raiders. Well, because he's only 10 or
okay.
he's 11.
Mm.
It's begun, right? Your team sucks. Got to go to
Oh,
school and hear that shit.
yeah.
He's like, I want to slap him, Dad. I'm like, no, can't do that. No,
Yeah.
I did tell him he could slap box. I won't lie. Said if your friend, no, not
Yeah.
because slap box is friendly. You can
Okay.
smack the shit out of your friend and still be friends. You just show them
Sure.
they got hands, right?
Yeah.
That's all by and yeah. Once most boxers know, once the neighborhood knows you're a boxer, what do they all want to do anyways? So I told
Yeah.
Junior, take him to the field if he keeps fucking talking.
Yeah. Open hand.
Brand
You gotta do
brandy
that.
game of
There you
slap,
go. Yes. Yes.
and then you slap the shit out of him.
Friendly.
Right? Isn't that? Hey, it sounds hella fair. Like, yeah, I'll do that. Whack, whack, whack. Hey, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know it was coming like that, did you?
Gotta leave
Fucker.
their face nice and red from that fucking slap. That Stockton slap. That Diaz slaps.
No, but it's happened. So now I get mad again.
Ah.
Now I get mad when the Raiders lose. Before I was already over it. You know, I'm 44.
Mhm.
Been losing for 30 fucking years. 30 years, Miguel. 30 years.
Well, they got close once, right? Where did they get close? Oh,
Yeah, but it's
06?
still a losing season. It doesn't matter. When we think of that, we got close. It's a loss, right? It's still a
Yeah,
loss. So we ain't sitting around a fire talking about losses. It sucks.
well,
Man.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Every season, only one team can win. So how many teams are there? 30, or I get that mixed up with baseball, with basketball. How many
Yes,
NFL teams?
31 teams
31.
still suck out there. Yes, that
You
is
know what I'm saying?
football.
So it's like,
That's football.
as long as you're at the top of the guys that suck, that's not too bad, right?
No, we're not playing that game. There is none of that.
I'm
No,
trying to
that's what losing. That's what losing fan bases will do. You know, when you're around a campfire with the guys, oh yeah, you'll talk about all those losses.
Mhm.
But when you're around, other people, no, you usually don't. No one gives a shit about the 2000 regular
They just
season
want the ring.
game.
It's like, do you have
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that playoff game in round one? No, I don't. Shut the fuck up. What happened in the Super Bowl? It's that, dude. And the Raiders get it too. I mean, we have 3 losses in the Super Bowl. So we've been hearing it. We lose in the regular season. We lost the Super Bowl. Whatever.
Mhm.
Another season has started. The Raiders are 0-1. That's all I got. That's all I fucking got.
It's all right. It's only week one. It's week one. Let's hope things. It's still
Fumbles.
early. Just think about it this way. It's round one. You don't win the fight. You don't lose the fight, right? You still got 16 more rounds to go. You can get back on the cards.
Hey, and thanks and football, they love that math too. They'll count that math all the way into like week 10, dude. Mathematically, the Raiders are still in it. Everything has to align. All the stars have to be in line. But if everyone else fucking loses and that one team goes down,
yeah, and they can't fuck up anymore if the Raiders.
Yeah, they gotta win out.
Yeah, and it's like you have to win every round from here on out to get a fucking.
Hey, I swear to God, the next week you'll lose. Here's the ESPN. There's still a chance. Like, holy shit, we're still in it. Oh my God. Yeah, hey, fucking mathematically, we're still in it always. Damn Raiders. But
stick that keeps us there. Well, I'm sure, and just so happens that the Raiders lost to the Chargers, which is our good buddy.
Oh, I know.
Lee's team. So Lee would have us on here. He would definitely make it a point to mention that at some point during the show. The Chargers was the ones who, started the the streak of losses. But
maybe I'll purchase the Chargers hat and only wear it for the shows that they win.
Just there you go.
I would have had to have worn the Chargers hat today. You know that, Miguel.
I
don't have it. I was looking around to see if I had anything.
I happen to be wearing this color completely coincidental. I don't even know. This is sort of kind of like a Chargers color, but maybe it's like their old school one, their throwback ones. But completely coincidental, trust me, because I just happen to have this shirt clean and ironed, so it just happens to be there. Well, that kicks off our show with some football talk. I know this is a boxing show, but something that we like to throw in there every so often. But anyway, we have plenty of things to talk about, right? A couple of things that we're going to end the show with, primarily the Canelo and Berlanga card. I do want to let you guys know, listening, that because I do live in Vegas, I'm going to try to head on down there Tuesday. Because Tuesday is the Grand Arrival, which, if you guys don't know what it is, basically the lobby of the MGM Grand, not the arena, the casino, It gets like kind of like cut off, and they have this entranceway from the valet to the lobby, and they have this little makeshift stage where they have basically the fighters come in, get on stage, say a couple of words, and then get escorted off to their hotel room. That's open to the public, of course, because it's right there in the middle of the lobby. So I'm gonna try to make it to that and get some sort of footage of the guys entering the casino. It lands on a day off of mine, so I'm gonna try to get there as early as I can to get as close as I can, because people start to gather around there and it starts to get pretty fucking packed. And I'm gonna have to wear some comfortable shoes because I'm gonna be standing for a long period of time. But I'm gonna try to get you guys some footage for that. And then also, of course, Wednesday they're gonna do the media workout where basically still at the MGM Grand Casino, between the sports book and this one restaurant called Tap, which I've been there many times, pretty damn good. They set up a ring, and basically they have guys come in and hit the pads or do whatever the hell, just talk to us for a little bit. It's like their little media workout kind of things where many of them really don't even really work out. They just kind of like shadow box and call it a day. But anyway, that will be Wednesday, and they won't have Canelo or Berlanga do that. They'll just have the rest of the undercard do that. So I'll make sure to get some sort of footage of that. So make sure to check our channel out because there's going to be some videos, some sort of coverage of Canelo and Berlanga at some point during the week, Tuesday and Wednesday in particular. So want to throw that out to you guys. Make sure you guys are aware of that. Keep your eyes peeled for some new videos coming out. I hope you guys do that because our last one is pretty good. Our last one, the grand arrival, got like 1 point or like 1,800 or so views, which is fantastic. So thank you guys. The open workouts, not so much, or the media workout, but regardless, thank you. We appreciate you guys watching those. I try to get as much footage for you guys as possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with some weird news here. You know, PBC isn't exactly on the great up and up as of. I mean, they are going to be part of this fight with Canelo and Berlanga to some degree, which we don't even really know. Really, it's just more their logo because it's barely on the fucking banner. But on the subject of PBC, one of our good buddies, Jermel Charlo, was officially charged with a DWI recently. Let me go ahead and read this little piece that I got here. Jermel Charlo, and again, I forget which one is which one's the 154 pounder, which one's the 160 pounder. But regardless, Jermel Charlo has now formally been charged with driving while intoxicated, and leaving the scene of a crash. After being arrested in May, he is due in court for a hearing on November 7th. Police spokesperson at the time said Charlo's Lamborghini Urus, I don't know how you pronounce that, Urus, and another car were involved in a collision. Then the authorities tried to pull Charlo over. He ignored their sirens until they boxed him in at a red light, where he was found to have a blood alcohol concentration of nearly twice the legal limit. Holy hell. So not only did this dude, drive around as buzzed and drunk as he was, but he also got into a car accident, fled the scene, and not really a OJ type of chase, but something like that in his nice little Lambo or whatever the fuck it was. He has Lambo. Wow. All right. Well, I guess it can't get any worse for these guys. And again, I forget which one this Charlo is.
He's the middleweight.
He's the middleweight. Okay.
He's the middleweight. Yeah. Because Jermel is the one that lost to Saul, and he was the junior middleweight champ, correct?
Yep.
So, yeah. So this is now. Didn't he get his title stripped?
Yes. The WBC title finally got stripped, and it was like fought. It was that Adames guy, Carlos Adames, I think, was the one that ultimately won it in a vacant championship bout. But yeah, he at some point, now mind you, he did hang on to it for like a year and a half or 2 years before he finally came back to the ring and fought in a non-title fight still. And then ultimately he won that, but apparently he hasn't defended the belt or hadn't defended that belt in quite some time. Eventually, the WBC decided it was time to strip him. I don't know what took them so long, to be quite honest. But besides him getting stripped of his belt, now he's got himself in a sticky situation with the law. I remember too, these guys. I don't remember if it was him or his brother that had that incident at the restaurant where the credit card declined or some shit.
Oh yeah.
So these things just keep piling up. It seems to be a PBC thing. It happens a lot of these PBC guys. But yeah, that's pretty nuts. What do you think about this story here, Andrew? It's kind of sucks. It's the downward spiral continues for these guys.
Yeah, it's a weird fall from grace. He's a world champ that doesn't lose his title or his undefeated record.
Oh yeah.
Today he's a nobody.
Mm.
Like literally, Charlo is a nobody right now in this sport, and he was an undefeated champion 2 years ago. Never lost. I don't know if I've ever seen this.
Mm.
Seriously, like a guy, because him and his brother were pretty big prospects,
Mm.
5 years ago or so when the PBC first starts.
Mm.
These guys are some of the hottest fighters in the sport. How did Al Heyman get it so wrong, Miguel?
Yet again.
What the fuck? No, I'm dead serious. Like, he got nothing for
Mm.
this guy. Nothing. It's I don't know who's out there keeping the score. You put a big fat zero under Al Heyman's name for this for Charlo. You know,
Mm.
don't know if you can blame Charlo. He, in my opinion, was ready for this shot. He just doesn't get it because of the stronghold that Al loved to keep on those titles, right? But he probably could have fought Triple G, Munguia, Canelo. Could have had any of those fights by now.
Well, he was gonna fight Canelo, right? And then for whatever reason, he backed out,
Yeah,
or
that's the end. That's
right
at
at the
the
end.
end.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but I
at
mean,
the end
that
here.
was
I'm
let me.
talking about junior middleweight,
Oh yeah.
right? I'm talking about their whole rise. These guys have kind of been connected. I mean, Munguia has fucking 42 fights, 45 fights, something like that. He's been undefeated for a while.
Mhm.
Does Jamal fight anybody? Did he fight Plant? Man, I would have to look up his.
No, definitely not him. I mean, I remember. I'm trying to think.
He
Was it
doesn't fight
Derevianchenko?
Benavides, right? He doesn't
No.
fight anybody. Yeah, it's a big fat
Let,
zero for Al Heyman.
yeah, let me pull it up because I know he fights. Yeah, he fights Derevianchenko, who just recently fought as well. Um, let me see here. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, he's fought K9. Remember that K9 guy that's on the
Damn.
show? He fought
No,
that
but I'm
dude.
saying just
Uh,
another big
let me see. Oh,
PBC.
he beat Austin Trout at middleweight though. Wait, was this? No. It was still a light middleweight. Never mind. It was still a junior middleweight. Back in 2016, he retained his IBF belt. He beat. Let me see here. Also, is it this guy as well? Yeah, I mean that's kind of. I mean he's been. Geez, I'm trying to think of any other ones, but really those kind of like it. Really, he's been a couple of guys, but um, Austin Trout is probably the biggest name. Derevianchenko, and
Yeah, no,
then
I was
recent
basically
ones.
looking at the heavy hitters. He never
Yeah.
faced one of them.
Mm-mm.
He was definitely lying. Yes, sir.
Yeah, lion only, really, right? That's pretty much what's
Yeah.
out there. But yeah, and he did have a belt at 154 at first, and then eventually he vacated it to go up to 160. Got himself a WBC belt there, and then nothing. I mean, not that he
Fell
was
in love with the
successful.
life, man.
Well,
He
I mean, we
literally
talked about
fell
this
in
in
love
the
with I
PBC stuff,
know.
right? This is the PBC thing. It's like this is the funny thing that you mentioned earlier. You said he's kind of a nobody now, right? Because of his name being that's what PBC or I guess that lifestyle that everybody wants, right, will get you. It's like, all right, all you give a fuck about is the money. Cool. You don't give a shit about legacy or anything like that. This is where you're at. I hope you still have I hope you
I
still have the
hope
money
he held no
because
money. Yeah.
now the legacy ain't fucking there. And we'll talk about Danny Garcia a little bit later on. But I've seen videos of Danny Garcia talking about him being in the fucking Hall of Fame. I'm like, what? You think you belong in the Hall of Fame, homie? Like, yeah, you did some good shit at 140, and maybe you got yourself a belt at 147, but haven't done jack shit since then. I don't know where the hell you think you belong in the Hall of Fame, but anyway, there seems to be a reoccurring thing with PPC guys. They don't give two shits about their legacy or what they accomplished in the sport. They just want those big paydays.
That was the only thing they did accomplish. At least Danny still has his money. I believe Danny still tries to, portray at least on social media that he has his money.
Mm.
Haven't heard of him taking any big hits yet. Um, Adrian looked bad the other day. I don't know
Mm.
if you've seen that picture of Broner, but damn, he looked like the dude that's hanging out in front of the liquor store. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Seriously. It was not a good look for AB. I don't know why he allowed to. I don't know why he put that up there. It's really weird. AB's kind of done that before, where he shows he's in the struggle, and then he tries to act rich when he makes one fight. You know what I mean? Like he's really weird like that. But this tweet he put out last week, that was pretty bad on the way he looked. So yeah, um, they definitely made their money. I don't know if they held on to it, but they made their money. But that was about it. Al Heyman didn't do shit for these guys in any other way as far as legacy or anyone giving a damn about them as soon as they retired. Danny
Yeah.
Garcia is going to be the same way. He'll
Hmm.
literally be. Hopefully, he's recognized in his own neighborhood, but he could probably go anywhere in America and no one would give two shits about. He looks like a regular guy when he walks around.
Yeah.
And then what I mean by that is sometimes when they're 6'10", you're like, I don't know who he is, but I
Yeah.
know he's someone, right?
Yeah.
You can tell by the way they're dressed, the height, you'll put it together. Danny, he's like our size. He's like a regular guy, So, um, yeah, that's a trip. No, and it's a trip that how far Jamal has or Jamal is Jamal, right?
Jamal.
Damn
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
to hell. Yeah,
I'm
it's
telling you,
sad.
that has to me too. Yeah.
At least his brother literally got one check. Yeah. At least his brother got to see the lights. I wonder if that's gonna come up in Christmas. You know how these two always are bumping heads.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, their kids are gonna be all of age and be like, tell us about the back in the day.
Hmm.
I'm like, well, I'm the only one that really wants a pay per view. Your dad didn't do shit. Fuck you,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like, and I took over when your dad backed out. So,
Yeah.
just so you know, I'm the one that unified the championships at 154. Your dad fucking booked it. I'm the fucking your dad's doing, but throw in some jabs, some light jabs there on Thanksgiving
Yeah,
dinner.
man. Yeah, it might
Oh,
not be.
jeez.
Yeah, it's gonna be a touchy
Yeah.
Christmas 5 years from now.
Hey, and the way things are going with Jamal, maybe you don't even touch that shit because who the fuck knows what's gonna happen? We're gonna have another Jermaine Taylor accidentally shooting your fucking cousin, circumstance or some crazy shit amongst their families. So who the hell knows if we want to even touch that with Jamal?
They
Uh,
they've already had one body in their building. Remember, someone died in their record studio
oh, jeez, no,
in
I don't.
Houston. In
Yeah.
Houston, yeah, they weren't there, but it's their studio, and there was a shootout or some shit. Some dude got shot.
I don't know if there are any PBC guys that we can say, oh yeah, that's a Hall of Fame career. That's a Hall of Fame dude. Like that guy will go. I mean, maybe the closest thing is maybe Porter, um, just because of the people who he's fought. Not that necessarily he's won, but he
To
did pretty
do
good.
what?
Oh, to reach Hall of Fame. To reach Hall of Fame. Like
If the Hall of
Thurman.
Fame, hey, look, if the Hall of Fame was ran like the baseball Hall of Fame, none of them would make it. But the boxing Hall of
That's
Fame isn't like baseball. The
okay.
boxing Hall of Fame, you kind of make it to the big stage they let you in. Seriously. I mean, I've seen a lot of, guys make it to the Hall of Fame. I'm like, really? Right.
Like
So,
his excellency, but he just had a lot of money. That's all his thing was.
and I don't want to start naming off names or, you know what I mean, breaking it down. But the boxing Hall of Fame, I would not be surprised if Danny and all them got in because there's a point in this era
Mm,
when they are the big ones. They're the ones making the big fights, right? It
yeah.
was the PBC for a while, putting him on with all those
Yeah.
other guys. So I'm sure they'll have their day in the sun over there at the Hall of Fame. The boxing Hall of Fame is a weird thing, dude. It just seems like whenever have you ever seen pictures of the boxing Hall of Fame?
I remember seeing some, but I can't I
It
vaguely
always
remember it.
it always looked very old. There was a lot of old people there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You know what I mean? Never seemed like it was a young hip thing to do.
Mm.
I don't know where that's going to be in 10 years, right? As we start as just the boxing fans don't seem to show up right now for our biggest fights. They really going to show up to go watch some guy get a does Danny and them even have a fan base that will follow him there? He might make it because he's going to get voted in.
Mm.
But how many people are actually going to make the trip to go see that speech?
Well, it's not really. I mean, I don't think Hall of Fames are really for young folks anyway. I mean, it's supposed to like what's the word? Like praise older
Have you
fighters
ever
or older
seen the
anything. And
Football Hall of Fame?
no, no. I mean, I've seen the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, and
You get
that's it.
you get the right guy, and that whole place is going to be packed of every
Mm,
age fan. Your dad's bringing the son, because
I
you know
see.
what I mean.
Mm.
It's totally different. Air boxing, it's always looked kind of. Is there anyone there? Well, there's a group. There's a group of some old guys sitting on some lawn chairs. Because they always they do that little parade thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I never had that much confidence in our boxing Hall of Fame in the future. So who knows where it'll be when Danny and them are ready to make that ride. Um, might just be a website at that point.
Yeah, maybe real. Yeah, are you telling me that there are
Or
no dads who want to bring their sons to see the presentation of I don't know, Spence entering the Hall of Fame? No, okay.
I don't even want to make fun of them.
Yeah, like I'd like to thank my seatbelt for not for making sure I'm still here. Like, all right, thank you, Errol. I appreciate that very much. Oh man. Well, why don't I
That's terrible.
start the show off on a good note. Make sure to get that crack a like on the good note because there's not that much news, unfortunately. But a couple of odd things that I did come across, and I'm gonna pull it up here momentarily. Apparently, Eddie Hearn talking about Crawford retiring. Hmm. What's that about? Let me go ahead and read this post here. This is a quote from Eddie. He says, I don't think Crawford will fight again because I think he's made real solid money in his last couple of fights. I don't know about
No,
this
he
most
hasn't.
recent one, not his last one. Maybe the one before. I mean, maybe Eddie knows what he made behind the doors, behind maybe Eddie knows that stuff. But at least what's on reported as far as the California State Athletic Commission reports, it wasn't a lot of money. Um, he says, I don't think he wants to fight Virgil Ortiz. No shit. Or Boots Ennis. He says, I think. It says, I think the only way Crawford will fight again is if Canelo, because he got used to that pay. I don't know about that, but anyway, he probably thinks he'll fight again, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. So inactive as well. I think he's happy to sit out until the end of next year. He'll just be waiting for the Canelo fight to come up. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I understand where he's coming from with that, point of view. That seems to be sort of the direction that Crawford wants to go, and I'm talking about a reference to a fight with Canelo, not necessarily, you know, only two options: retirement or fight with Canelo. Like, I don't think it's like that, but I definitely think that the trip is there. Andrew, you yourself has said it many times that Crawford might have his eyes set on the winner of maybe Lara and Garcia that we're going to talk about a little later on tonight to continue the move up to 160. I mean, well, continue to potentially move up to 168. Maybe take a stop by at 160 for a cup of coffee and a WBA belt, and then maybe move up to 168 for a potential fight with Canelo. That seems to be the direction. At least that's how we're connecting the dots. Eddie Hearn thinks it's one or the other, either a Canelo fight or retirement. What do you think of that? I'm not sure. That seems like quite a bit of an extreme, what they call it, a false dilemma. It's like those aren't the only two options.
Without his excellency involved, I think with his career,
Mhm.
it's quite possible those are the only options.
Mm.
Canelo versus Terrence isn't going to get made without him being involved. The PBC can't handle that check on their own, that blank
Mm.
check on their own, or can't write it. Um, ESPN has already let Crawford go.
Mm.
I don't see them coming back for a Canelo Crawford fight because it's just too much money, Miguel. I mean, really, both guys would be looking to make, what they. And I can't even say Terrence is used to making 20 million, but because he made it against Spence, I'm guessing he would his price is still going to go up. So if Canelo's is, let's lowball Canelo. Say he's 25 now. He's not 32 or whatever he was making before. Let's give him at 25.
Mm.
Even if Crawford wanted 10 million, that's 35 million dollars someone's in the hole. And boxing just hasn't shown this lately. Neither men have generated that type of money lately. Canelo, come on, Canelo's living off the past right now, man.
Mm.
And we don't know what Canelo's actually making on these fights, right? We get told what he's supposed to make, but we know that these pay-per-views aren't living up to what a $25 million fighter is supposed to generate. So maybe he's making it on live gate and everything else. When you add the live gate and the pay per view together, maybe that's how they're able to pay Saul. But he's definitely not a Mike Tyson or a Chavez or a Pacquiao or a De La Hoya at this point in his career. He once was, but not at this point. So him and Terrence is a no go, and I think His Excellency is already pissed off at Saul. He's not looking to say. I don't think he's a go back around. We'll see next time.
Right? Yeah.
I think you get one shot at this dude, and
Yeah.
then he
I don't
he
think he's the kind
leaves.
of guy. Yeah, he's not the kind of guy to apologize and be like, all right, let's
Yeah,
try. Let's try one more time. No, he won't do that.
nah. Unless you come with an apology publicly.
Yeah, on your knees on social
On your
media,
knees, damn it.
on social media or some shit.
So
Uh,
so that's why I think, that fight's a no-go. Then maybe Eddie Hearn's like, if that's really all Terrence wants, he's fucking, I guess he's retiring because it's not his excellency doesn't want it. We know De La Hoya ain't backing it, and I'm not trying to jump subjects, but I'm just saying we know that's already one big player in the game that is not looking forward to that fight, right? Eddie Hearn, they probably can't afford it. They're already fucking in a lot of debt. We hear DAZN, right, with the boxing. We're basically alive in DAZN because of the other sports that they broadcast in other countries. Has nothing to do with Anthony Joshua and what Saul Alvarez and Anthony Joshua are creating. So yeah,
so you
it's
agree with Eddie
listen.
then here?
I agree a little with Eddie. Look, it's what they can talk Terrence into. I like my game plan. Why not go for a fifth division? We'll pay you $3 million. You got to give him a raise. It's 2.5. Jesus, man.
Yeah,
It makes
as
me
long as it's not
feel.
a cut.
It makes me feel bad, Miguel. Just saying that one of the
I see
biggest
it. I see
faces.
it in the face. It's almost like you have a stomach ache. Like 2.5 million. Shit.
He's not. It's 20 million. He's supposed to
Yeah.
make 20, but anyways, they got to give him a raise. They give him a raise. You have him fight the winner of Lara versus um Garcia.
Garcia.
Yes. And then you come back and why not take the fourth? Would it be his fourth undisputed or third undisputed? Third undisputed weight class, correct? He would have had 140, 147, and
Yeah.
then 154.
If he
Never
becomes
done in the sport
yeah.
before.
Mm.
And it might be a while until we see someone at that level do it. In a way, might get it done. No knock on the little guys,
Mm.
but it's not the same as. All right, so we're on the same page.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when
I
weight
don't mean to
classes
insult anyone, but
when there's a difference as little as 3 pounds between weight classes in the smaller weight classes, it's a little
yeah,
bit different. But going from one fucking 40,
140,
147,
147.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
little bit different circumstance there. That's not a bad idea. I mean, you mentioned it before about trying to go, making it go up to 160, get maybe a belt, so you can say you're the champion at that weight class, and then come back down to 154. Because realistically, let's just say 160, right? He goes up to 160. The fact that there's Johnny Beck at that weight class, that there's no fucking way he would want to do that, unifications or anything like that at 160. It would be to his benefit to come back down 154 and maybe try doing it there. That's pretty plausible, right? I mean, I
yeah.
want to say, what's his name? Teddy Atlas even said it. He's like, dude, right now, and this was right after he beat, right after Crawford beat Spence. He says he's got a fucking clear, clear path through 154 right now, and I think that was he was talking about at the time when Jermell had all the belts. He's already relinquished them all, but basically at the time he says, yeah, he can be fucking Jermell, and he get the belt and he'll be undisputed there too. So, that's kind of that option isn't on the table anymore because obviously Jermell has already released the belts, but that's not bad. According to Eddie here, he's saying he doesn't want to fight the Enos and the Ortizes. Why not? I mean, yeah, they're not going to be. If we're going to use the excuse of, oh, he's already used to the big paydays, I don't know about that. He's only had one major payday,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
two tops, but really one. I you know if his mo it, I can't see him looking at a possible, I don't know, $5 million fight or some shit, and then saying no to that when he just got 2.5 from the his most recent fight with Madrimov. It
And
seems
he's 36, bro.
yeah,
Right? Terrence
yeah,
Crawford needs to realize that he's not young anymore. Take the easiest path to the bank, and to me, that is that's the game plan of staying the hell away from Saul Alvarez, right? And you take on these next three guys, and even a Tim Tszyu fight. We got news. Tim Tszyu fighting for a title here. I mean, that's a big fight for Crawford. Him and Zoo in Australia, I think, would do great numbers because of Terrence's history already out there.
Hmm.
Um, it just there's a lot more going on for him. At least if he wanted to make what if he wanted to do a 3-fight deal, I think he has enough opponents to have 3 fights where he'd be the favorite still in all 3 of them at 36 years of age, and then end your career.
Yeah, yeah, precisely. Because I mean, let's look at this. Obviously, let's just I mean, just logically, I meant to say no fight with Canelo because chances are it's not going to happen. So okay, no money. No, a nice little $5 million or $4 million or $3 million check over your head with fighting somebody at 154. I'm sure he would take it. I don't know. So I personally don't agree with what Eddie Hearn is saying here. I thought he's going to do what he can to make 168, get that big payday, and then retire. If that isn't a possibility, I don't think retirement is the only other option. Again, he's not as young as he used to be, so he's going to have to be pretty careful with who he picks to win or to fight again at 154 against. He got himself a belt already, right? He took that belt off of Madrimov, so he's a champion. Unifying with someone else, I'm sure that's definitely logical and possible. A nice big payday. I mean, not a Canelo payday, maybe not even a $10 million payday, but a 5-3 between theirs, that wouldn't be a bad deal, especially after seeing 2.5 in his last fight. I don't know about that, but yeah, but that's just funny. When I read that, I was like, I got to talk about this because I got some things to say. I don't think it seems like it's one of those, false dilemma things. Like those aren't the other only two options, Eddie. Like I'm sure, I guess he must really think that that Crawford is thinking that way too. Like, no, I'm not. I mean, it's gonna be a while before he comes back. I think. What did he just fight? It was
He
June
could be
was last
calling
fight.
his bluff, is what you're saying, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Maybe Terrence keeps saying, "Well, if it ain't that, I'm not coming back." And now him and Eddie Hearn are like, "Well, then I guess he's not coming back."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's gonna
That's
learn that. He's gonna learn real fast how this man plays over here.
right, exactly. But on that note, on the note of 154 pounders, Tim Tszyu just announced recently that he's going to be fighting for the IBF 154-pound championship against a guy whose again name I will try my damnedest to not butcher, Bakram, Bakhram, Mutsa, oh Jesus, Murtaz, no, Murtazaliev. That's as close as it's gonna get. Sorry, guys. But anyway, he's the 154-pound champ for the IBF. He just won the belt, actually. Of course, one of the belts that Charlo dropped. Now that he's taking a step back, not the one that just got arrested, but the other one. And it's a belt. All right. I sent this also to our good friend Sam Navajero, letting him know, like, hey, dude, oh shit, I didn't recognize the dude. I had to look him up. I was like, oh fuck, he's a champ. He got himself a belt. Okay, cool. I think, oh, is this the direction that Tim Tszyu is trying to go? Let me go ahead and pick up some hardware again, right? Because we know Fundora's got 2 belts. Let me go ahead and find one of the other champions, pick up some hardware there, have a little bit more leverage when he decides to negotiate with, Fundora or the Fundora Crawford winner, if that happens, or Fundora Spence, or whatever fight ends up happening. But Fundora has a nice little amount of leverage with 2 belts on over his shoulder. So that seems to be the direction that they're going to go. It looks like this fight is going to take place in Orlando, Florida. So not Australia, okay, not Vegas. All right, Florida. I don't know what the reasoning behind there
Yeah.
is, but okay, it's going to be October, so I don't know. It's going to be kind of cold, I guess. But apparently, it's going to be in Orlando, Florida. PBC doing their thing again. I don't know why they would go there. I figured they would go to their what is it, the Armory in Minnesota, right? That's like the place that they always had their events. I figured they'd do something there, but no, it's going to end up being Orlando, Florida. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I like this kind of keep me busy type of fight with.
And
Uh,
what's the most important news?
oh shit, there's more important news than that. Well, I mean, we're gonna get to it later, but what's the most?
No, it's on Amazon Prime, I think, bro. It's the first fight Amazon Prime.
Ah,
Yeah. I
all
was
right.
like, oh shit, they're gonna do one.
Mm-hmm.
What a
Mm-hmm.
weak ass fight. I don't expect anyone to be watching it, but who's there? Dude,
Well, they tried it once with Tim, right? They tried it. It was supposed to be him and Thurman on, but that was pay per view. It was
that was
Amazon pay per view. But
pay-per-view,
but
bro.
but that's what I'm saying. Like it still kind of failed. They're going back to the well with the same dude who Americans don't know that well yet.
Why do they make this guy El Heyman act like he was some genius, and yet he keeps feeding him Tim Zoo, who we know is not. We knew he wasn't good for the pay-per-view grand opening, right? Everyone said it, not just this show. The whole boxing world was like, I don't expect this one to do that many, get that many buys, you know. And now we're that's what you're gonna open with. How do you say his name? His opponent?
Uh, Mortazaliev, his last name.
Exactly. That's what the fuck, bro.
Hmm.
Like, L, do you not want us to succeed on this platform? Is that what we're trying to do here?
Yeah.
Does De La Hoya really have to go to the PBC and maybe put a fight together? Because seriously, dude, what De La Hoya is going to be bringing in a few weeks on the Riyadh season hits a lot harder than what El Heyman. And I didn't even know Oscar had a stable yet. Yet that card that they put together, bro, is hitting way harder than what El Heyman's feeding this platform to the Amazon.
Hmm. Can you imagine this board meeting, like Amazon Prime people be like, all right, so we're going to do the first, pay-per-view. I mean, not pay-per-view, on regular Amazon Prime. All right, what you got, Al? It's like, okay, remember that guy from back in March? No, like Tim Zoo? Tim Zoo. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's going to be fighting the champion, right? IBF. Okay. Well, who is he? I can't pronounce his name yet. Give me a second.
Hey,
Al.
Miguel, you're exactly right. They're all right. So we did the first two pay-per-views. They didn't go too good, Al. What do we got for our big grand opening that gives the same fucking name? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did you not just hear me? What I just fucking told you? Oh my God. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, bro. That had to be a very somebody over there loves Tim Zoo. Someone has a hard on for Tim Zoo at Amazon.
Yeah.
Or what, it has to be at Amazon. I don't know. It has to be I knew his dad. I seen his dad fight. It's gonna be one of those white guys.
Right. Like I remember back when his dad fought, like, yeah. Well, his bloodline, yeah, his son. Yeah, let's put him on free TV. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. It is free, of course. I already have Amazon Prime, so it's not a problem there. I just don't know. Ah, man. We
That's
talked about it
it.
a few times.
That's it though. You can't even nobody could even sell this fight because we don't really know the opponent. We can't even say the opponent's name.
Mm.
It's very hard to sell the fight. It's very hard to get a casual to watch something when you can't say the opponent's name because you really don't know him. But you're telling me it's a real good fight, huh? Most of the time when you hear a guy's name over and over, everyone knows it. Becomes a household thing because everyone, been watching him fight. They all seen the fight. When you don't know his name, everyone knows you haven't really been watching the dude. No, he's really good. What's his name?
Yeah. It's like, so you don't know his name. It's like, no, I know it. I just forget how to pronounce it. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say that's what it is. So here we go. I guess we're gonna try to get this Amazon Prime. We asked for it. We wanted the free cards, and this is what the PBC is gonna deliver to us, is this fight. And again, no knock on Tim. I wish it was, if it was Tim and Crawford,
it's not a knock on him.
It's like, oh fuck yeah, if it was Tim, maybe even a Tim and Fundora rematch.
Thank you.
At the free fucking thing. Cool.
Yes.
Oh fuck yeah! All right, I'm down with that. Tim and fucking Spence. At least there's some name recognition with Spence with his fight with Crawford. But God, man, it's like and then on top of that, Tim is the challenger, so he's like on the right side of the poster, and the champion's on the left side of the poster. They're gonna see the champion's name first. Wow. All right.
Definitely Spence. Spence is a great guy to open up the platform with as an opponent because of his history with PBC fight fans, dude. You'll get all of those guys to come watch Spence. Yeah, it might be his last fight. We get it. He's half blind. He can't pass a fucking physical right now. We get it. But they would still watch that last fight, right? He hasn't gotten that beat up. Now, if Fundura wasted him, that would probably be it for him. But that's a good opponent right there to open up with. He did 6 million views. I know it was after after a college game on ESPN, but one of his fights for ESPN, man, did 6 million views. It was a very big number he got. That was when obviously he was on his rise up still in the sport. But it was in the beginning of PBC when they were buying slots. Was it ESPN? It was someone that was showing basketball. It was a station that was showing basketball. That's why they kind of. It was an NBA All-Star game or something that was going on, bro. And then Spence was fighting right after that, and so they kind of said they thought it was the All-Star game that bumped his views up. But no matter what, he had one of the highest views on a free television ring. I like him as an opponent way better than this. I know they're just getting a strap-on zoo. I get that. I don't think this is the right time to do it, though. Just like I didn't think it was the right time for him to be on pay-per-view, and we were right on that one. Didn't go out on the limb. The whole boxing world was saying it, but what the fuck, Al? How can we all be saying it? We're right. You're wrong. You're the genius.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You're the one signing the checks. You're supposed to know more than we are, you know. And then hell, even throw Thurman back in here. Let's do that match that we're supposed to have back in March and put Sue in against Thurman. Cool. Those guys are at least their names you can pronounce and they're a little bit more easily, recognizable on free, Amazon Prime. Cool. I'm down with that. But I don't know. I mean, I get the plan as far as Tim Zoo's side saying like, all right, let me get some hardware. If that is the plan, of course, that's simply connecting the dots. But to have it on this, I mean, I guess.
And in Florida.
Yeah, I know.
Dude,
right
what if it's an empty stadium on top of that for the platform, right?
Yeah.
Amazon's like, oh wow, we got no views. We had to give away 1,500 tickets to make it look like someone was here.
I don't know if this is. Oh, it's a resort. They have because so it says Caribe Royale or I don't know, it's like basically Caribbean, right? But it's a casino in Orlando, but I don't see like pictures of an arena. So maybe they have some sort of like little, I don't know, like ballroom or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I've been to like some of these casinos, like in Pachanga and Temecula and stuff like that, right? They have like this small little. I mean, they're not small. They're big enough to host events, expos, and shit like that, right? But it's not it's not an arena where there's seats there. It's just like they basically have those big ass bleachers that they bring out and call it a fucking arena. I've done that countless times. That seems to be what I mean. This doesn't look like it's an arena. I could be wrong. If anybody's from Florida, please by all means correct me and let me know that there's actually some sort of small convention center or something there that actually has like, the capacity for 5,000 people. I don't know, something like that, maybe hopefully more, but that's usually what I see with these like casinos out there. Unless there's, again, some sort of arena attached to them. Yeah, I don't even know what arena this would be at, but yeah, Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida. I don't know.
He's a genius. I gotta thank Al Heyman.
Yeah, I know.
That's like a very Eddie Hearn move, Al. You sound very Eddie Hearnish right now. Let's take this Australian and Russian kid to Florida.
Yeah, they definitely have a fan base over there, right? It's like, yeah.
Like, why aren't we in Australia, bro?
Yeah,
you'll do 40,000. The thing will look packed.
Yes.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, with this last fight, they think of him as a hero already over there, that fucking bloodbath that he went through. Mm-hmm. And he deserves it. It was a bloodbath, It was a great fight he fought through on the Fondura. So, what? Florida? If I'm Zeus camp, I'm like, what? Why aren't we cashing in? Why aren't we making our guys some money? We seen what you did with the Charlos. Shit.
All right. Yeah, let's do a 2-man pay-per-view Charlos in the same arena or some shit. Wow. All right. Well, so just thought I'd throw it in there because there's some other info that come up. I'm down to watch it, of course, because I'm going to watch it. I was going to watch it anyway, but I don't know if they went with the right opponent or the right fight in general to open up this Prime Amazon Prime deal. It's going to be our first free fight, so let's see who else they stack into the undercard, and maybe they'll make it a little bit nice and beefy of a card. But wow, Al. Let's
wonder who's left.
Oh, the PBC guys?
Yeah, because it sounds like everyone's fighting under Riyadh right now.
Yeah. Let me see. Well,
Valenzuela, Pitbull.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess does Canelo count? I mean, is it a one fight?
No, Canelo doesn't count, but he's not gonna fight on. On
free.
I'm talking about this card that they're building with Tim.
Okay. Uh-huh.
There's really, because Tim put himself out there on a limb, right? Not going to his excellency, didn't make that meeting or didn't give him a fucking
right.
answer or whatever he did wrong. So he's out. So who left with you? We know you're a main event, but who'd you bring?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
don't worry, they're coming. I told him, fuck this guy. They're going to come through the door right now. Don't worry, here they come.
I promise.
Fuck.
Let me see. Pitbull.
They're like, Tim, I love you, bro, but he's like $7 billion, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck you mean I'm supposed to leave this guy?
Yeah, that's a good one. I know Pitbull Cruz is still there. I don't know what would it be. Would be
Yeah, L and Tim are sitting in the office. Like, he's like, who you got, L? He's like, fuck.
Yeah, let me go to my website and see. Let me see what
I'm gonna call Don and see if fucking what's that clown that he has over there that just beat Broner? Who's the guy that
Cobbs?
Cobbs, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, be making a phone call to Cobbs here soon.
Yeah, this is we're down to like the bare bones here of like PBC. So and we just had a card back in May. I don't know if those guys, well, I guess we can go back to look at that card. I don't know who would want to whether maybe a potential rematch
Which card? What are we talking about?
Oh, I mean, like the this card that they're going to do in October, that free one, like going back to the Canelo Munguia undercard to take a look at those PBC guys, because those are kind of the only PBC guys left. Maybe we can have a Valenzuela and Cruz rematch or some shit on the co-main event. Add a little bit more hardware to the fucking card. Trying to think.
They're with His Excellency now, though.
But it's still PBC though, no? I mean, it's still to some degree PBC. It's their logos on the fucking ring still.
I understand, but because Pitbull and Valenzuela fought under Riyadh, I don't see them going back unless he says jump. They ain't moving. That's their guy now. I'm telling you, man. I think he secretly took over the sport without even telling people. He's worth $7 billion, $4 billion, bro. He's worth boxing combined. Everyone would have to put their money together to come up with what this man's company owns in assets, bro. So no, I'm not. If put it this way, if His Excellency called me and said, dude, why are you talking about fighting for Al Heyman on some stupid card? I'm about to have you on 3 of my Riyadh season cards back to back to back. Okay, sorry. Click. Right? You're clicking on Al Heyman just got blocked, really. Look at what he did for Wilder and them. Wilder only stopped fighting because he started losing too much, but he had him on back-to-back cards.
Yeah.
Like, he has that type of money and he has that type of calendar. He has the fight dates, So you made a good point. We're going to have to go back to a PBC only card and start pulling what fighters they have left. But, man, the pot's got to be thin. Everyone seems to, if you're smart, where the state of boxing is right now, you would be dumb not to sign with him. And I know I wasn't talking like that 2 months ago, or I didn't know. But right now, where the state of boxing is, the pay-per-views keep sucking, you guys. We're not getting numbers. We have no platform. The faces aren't selling. I'm hella happy Canelo's outdoing the UFC right now in that big fight that they're having down there this weekend. It seems like Canelo's winning. That's a win for us. I really didn't expect it, Miguel. I really didn't.
Really? You didn't think like?
No.
They announced the fight afterwards.
Not 20 million above them. They're saying UFC's 20 million down right now. It's a lot of money. So Canelo, big win for him, still as being the face of combat sports.
Is it so much Canelo as it is? I mean, we'll get into that a little bit later.
They totally overplayed their hand. I agree with you.
So we'll talk about that a little bit later because I do have it on the docket. But you're right though. Anyway, continue. Yes, that's a good sign for boxing at least.
It's a good sign, but right now, I would, if I was advising my guys, I would be advising them to stay close to the Riyadh season, and if that's His Excellency, then that's who it is. But all of them allowed this. Don't blame me. Blame Bob Arum. Blame Al Heyman. Blame Eddie Hearn. You guys all went to him, made it all seem like it was a kumbaya type of environment. So I'm staying with him because he has a lot of money.
Yeah, and
He's
willing to
feeding
share
my
that.
family.
Yeah, he's
All-
willing to share that that motorcycle. So
he's he's feeding the family pretty good right now.
pretty generous on his end. Yeah, well, so I don't know who they would want to stack into that card or toss in there, but not a good jump there. I mean, terrible first pay-per-view, uh, terrible, first free card, I guess we can call it. All right, moving on. A little bit of a funny side story here. Caleb Plant purchases EdgarBerlanga.com. uh, the domain. I want to say we looked into it a little bit early. He did it before with David Benavides. That didn't work out for him. Hopefully, this one does work out for him a little bit better, right? But here's a quick little excerpt here. He says, I think it's just from our little interaction that we had in Vegas from the Canelo Jaime Munguia fight. I felt like he was just too much of a smart mouth. This is Caleb Plant talking about Berlanga. I didn't like that. It says, and sure enough, his dumbass doesn't even know his own domain. If you're a professional, you don't own your own domain, like you don't deserve to have it. So I just bought it and really was just going to keep it in my back pocket. So maybe one day we'll fight and one day and we'll fight. But he just started mouthing off and being too much of a smarty. He says, so we had to put an end to that. So apparently, Caleb Plant's solution to Edgar Berlanga's smart mouth and mouthing off is purchase his domain name. He says he's going to keep it in his back pocket. I don't know. I mean, what would be the long-term goal here? Let's say Berlanga beats Canelo. People are interested in Berlanga, and then Berlanga tries to go and buy his own fucking domain because he becomes a superstar, we'll say, and he can't. Like that's
Yeah, that's a
that's the
dumb
plan.
one. That was a plot twist I wasn't ready for. I thought he was gonna start selling merchandise on it, and that's an excellent. You know, he might become hot that night, right? You got to punch people like, hey, who's this Berlanga kid? All of a sudden, you're found yourself on a Berlanga website selling Caleb Plant merchandise. That's pretty funny. That's what he
Yeah.
did to David Benavides, or he said he was going to do. I don't know if he ever did it or not. I didn't actually go and confirm it, but that's what he said he was doing. I
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No,
No,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's do it. Let's go to
Yeah, yeah,
let's go
you
to
can
fucking
try. He might still
yeah.
be selling it, but
That's funny.
that's what I thought he did it for, because then it's a good business move, right? Because these guys do go viral, at least on that night that they fight.
Mm.
To keep it in the back pocket just for later, and that took all the joke out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing is weird. It's like, did I not spell it correctly? Edgar Berlang.
Oh,
I'm
you should
trying.
have tried David Benavides. Here, I'll do David
Oh,
Benavides. You do
okay,
Berlanga. I'll look for
okay.
David. See if he's still selling shit on on David's website.
Oh, it sends us to David Caleb Plant's like fucking website kind of thing, so you can sign up for his newsletter or access the. Oh, damn. All right, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I have to admit, that's kind of funny. Are you gonna check out David Benavides
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
it? Oh shit, that's pretty funny. Fucking Plant. I get a good kick out of it though. That's fucking funny. Geez. Well, yeah, it didn't work out for Plant the first time. He ended up losing against David Benavides. And he says here that maybe it'll something that will come of it later on because he might fight Berlanga. I would not mind seeing him fight someone like Berlanga, even if Berlanga loses against Canelo. I'm down to see that. Anything come up on your end there, Andrew?
No, it looks like he changed his website name.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a Spanish one now.
Oh,
The David Benavides .shop is like El Bandera
oh,
Roja.
Bandera Roja, yeah, red flag. That's
Yeah. So
uh, but anyway, I just thought I'd throw
he
that in.
got smart.
Yeah, right, exactly. So on the subject of what we were talking about earlier with the UFC card being on the same one, there's a couple of stories here that I wanted to touch on. First and foremost, these are kind of sort of linked. Oscar De La Hoya recently posted on his Instagram talking about in the typical bitter ex-girlfriend talk, that he is going to attend the UFC card at the Sphere and not the Canelo and Berlanga card. He says that he says he can't wait to see Dana White, and he says it would be great to hang out with him face to face. Yeah, man, dude, yeah, bro. So that's kind of the direction he's going here. He's going to go to the UFC card. Um, I have to assume he's telling the truth. I don't know if he really is going to do it or not, but anything to not give Canelo any more any more credibility or any more money or any more anything, any more limelight. He would much rather give it to the UFC, even though him and Dana White aren't exactly on the greatest of fucking terms. And yeah, I'm sure you'll mention it here shortly, Andrew. But Dana White has said some pretty fucked up things about De La Hoya. I mean, I'm sure as we all have, but you're a goddamn promoter. And why Oscar would decide to just be like, nah, fuck it, whatever. He probably didn't mean it. I'll go to his fight. I doubt that Dana White would give him any sort of pass or
That's what I, yeah,
system,
dude.
or is
Yeah.
he gonna go and actually pay money? Because the second part of the story is the fact that the UFC actually had to drop ticket prices because of how few tickets were fucking being sold. Some of these going from $2,700 all the way down to $760 for
Wow.
tickets. Holy shit, that is a humongous drop.
Wow.
When you're competing against somebody like Canelo on the same night, and the main event was at one point supposed to be a female Mexican champion defending her belt, then they end up switching the damn main event card. So now that fight, the point of them doing it on Mexican Independence weekend is that the champion of the UFC flyweights, the females, is a Mexican herself, and she's not going to be the main event of the card. Okay. Clearly, that was obviously because they knew that they weren't going to be able to compete with Canelo. But holy hell, they're really losing out on a fuck ton of money. They shot themselves in the foot big time because of that crazy ticket prices for that Sphere card. But before we touch into that, let's go ahead and start that first part with Oscar De La Hoya talking about going to this UFC card. What's on your mind, Andrew? You have something on your mind about this?
I don't like it. All right. Oscar to me, he's acting like that chick that hated your best friend, but then when you guys broke up, she went and fucked him, right? And you're like, I know that bitch don't like him. She's just doing that because she knows it's gonna get at me. And there's two ways, guys, that Canelo could respond to this. He could either get upset, maybe say something in the media fight week about Oscar, or he cannot even mention Oscar and act like it never even happened, and that's going to make Oscar, like a broad, even cry even more. That her little plan of fucking the guy that she really didn't like didn't work. It didn't hurt his feelings.
Mhm.
You girls do it all the time. It's very sad. It's very pathetic.
Yes. It's even worse when nobody pays attention to you and you did it anyway, and all you did was fuck yourself over. It seems I suspect the way
Tell me it's not that though, Miguel. Like Miguel, what is he doing hanging out with Dana fucking White, bro?
Yeah, after all the things that Dana White has said, everything from
he's a cokehead
to saying like cocaine's expensive, he clearly needs to do XYZ to continue.
He's an idiot. I know this guy. He's an idiot. Everyone says like he's. Come on, Oscar. Are you fucking serious right now? You sound like a broad, bro. Seriously, I don't know if this is your girlfriend's idea, but it sure does have that girlfriend-like idea all over it.
That would not be. That wouldn't surprise me if it was like, babe. You know what we should do? What, babe? Or we should go to the UFC and really stick it to Canelo. Oh shit! Fuck yeah! I'll call Dana White tomorrow morning. It's like that.
And I hope Dana doesn't play to this, dude. He goes. I hope he says, "What a fucking jackass that guy was." How dare he call me? That's a win for Dana. If he comes out and says that I told Oscar to go fuck himself, that's a so win for Dana White on Oscar. I know he's stupid, bro.
Dude, going back to the girlfriend scenario, she gets, they break up with the guy. She goes to the friend, and the friend rejects her too. It's like, fuck! Oh shit!
That's my boy.
Yeah, bros before hoes. Canelo and Dana White would be like, I see you. Thanks, bro. That would be, oh my gosh, that would be the ultimate. That'd be so badass. I mean, I suspect that Canelo is not even gonna give this 2 seconds of thought. I don't think he'll
Dana,
give
if
two.
you're smart, record the phone call of you rejecting him, bro, and post it. And Oscar will never bug you again. You will forever have won that argument with Oscar De La Hoya. The night he tried to use you to get his boy mad.
Hmm. Oh damn, that'd be so badass. I wish, Dana would like not even let him in the fucking building.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
oh,
totally. Yeah,
oh gosh, that'd be so great.
like, bro, like, don't bring me into your little fucking gay romance or whatever the fuck you got going on over there. I know he
Yeah,
probably can't say that. He's not Strickland. Strickland would say it.
yeah, Strickland would say, didn't give a
Let's
fuck.
say let Strickland say.
Yeah, there you go. And that's what Dana should do. Be like, hey, Sean, get in here. Say
Yeah,
this.
there you go, Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, read this real quick, homie. I was like, okay, I'll read it for you. No, I get paid. Yeah, I'll give you a paycheck. No problem. Just say this for me. Just pretend you're me talking in this podium in front of people. Yeah, I don't think Canelo is even gonna bring it up. I think he's just gonna not give two fucks about it, to be honest. So at least on that end, I know Canelo will probably do that because he wants.
Dude, will
He's
the
trying to
media
protect
keep
the
bringing it up though? He's got to say something. I just feel like this week there's going to be some talk about the UFC going on down the street. You've
yeah,
clearly beat them, but did you hear, right?
yeah.
At
I'm
some
sure the
point,
media will ask them. Yeah.
yeah, the Mexican media too. Oscar's big on both sides. So they're going to ask him. We're going to have a comment for it. I Yeah, I don't know what he should respond to that one yet. I don't know. Canelo should think real hard what his response is going to be, though. Don't just say something off the top.
Yeah, if he was smart, he would know that it's coming. That the
Yeah.
media's gonna ask him those kinds of questions. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that I thought that was funny. This motherfucker trying to play both sides of the damn fence, right? With um Canelo over here and
I didn't
asking
like
Canelo
it,
to give two
Miguel.
fucks.
I didn't like it at all.
It's a low move. It's a low move.
It
It's
really
like
is. It's not helping our sport. I thought you were here to help the sport. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got a beef with Canelo, but that means everyone else on the card you're throwing them under the bus too.
mm,
It had been better for Oscar just to stay home on that one. You don't have to be in the spotlight all the time.
mm.
Um, Definitely has girl like vibes on this move.
Yeah, that he won't be able to parade his fake ass, girlfriend around, his plastic girlfriend. He won't have a reason to have her dress up and go to sit front row in front of somewhere, because it's not gonna happen at the
I
Canelo
don't
fight.
even know how he would be accepted in an MMA crowd, Miguel. Would they cheer or would they boo?
Okay, so he tried it a few times. Years ago, I want to say '09 to 2010, the clothing brand Affliction tried their hand at MMA and held two MMA cards. They overpaid their fighters like a motherfucker and went
I
belly up
remember
real
that.
fast.
Yeah.
But Oscar had a role in that. He invested some sort of money in it. He was front row. They had a couple of events in California, as a matter of fact. I want to say it was Anaheim, and so he was part of it. It seemed as though he was relatively welcomed. It wasn't like people were booing him. Mind you, this was 2007, I mean 2009, 2010, before, a lot of stuff happened. So this was a while back, what we're looking at maybe 14 years ago, 15 years ago now. It seemed
Probably
like a
still active as a fighter, correct?
I when did he fight Pacquiao? That was his last fight. Like, '08, was it?
Oh,
Or no?
okay. So he might
I
have been
think
out of the game
he
already.
might have been barely, like, freshly out of the game, I think,
Okay.
because I'm trying to remember offhand. Because when did he fight Floyd? That was '07, right? When he fought Floyd. So, and then at some point he fought Stevie Johnson, or who the fuck was it? I think it was on his way back down, and then
Okay.
he fought Pacquiao. So I want to say '08, '09, I think, is when he called it quits, and I think these events took place around that time. So yes, he was very close to him being active. Then in 2017, 2018, he held that MMA event with Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell 3. These guys were old as fuck. I
Yeah.
actually attended that fight at the Great Western Forum as
Nice.
a member of media. I was working with somebody else and they hooked me up. It was fucking tight. It was badass. I'm not gonna say it wasn't seeing those dudes there. It was a fucking circus, really, because these guys are geriatric. They're old as shit, and the fight didn't. And it wasn't that good of a turnout as far as like fight fans go. So I don't know how that. He was there. Was he there? Shit. Actually, take that back. I don't remember if he was there. But regardless, it wasn't that full. I don't think it's hard to say. I think maybe now the reception won't be as warm.
Yeah.
I think back then it would be a
Now he
different.
has G strings, fake abs. I know Dana has fake abs too, and that probably
Uh,
helps Oscar, but he just seems so phony right now. So his reputation is starting to be a little bit too connected to his party life, right? Like
Very superficial.
every time he does something crazy, all you see is snowflakes and snowflakes, and he must be high as a kite right now. Like that wasn't the case in 2010, right? Like there might have been little rumors and stuff, but nowhere to the degree of what it is today. Today, Oscar, like I said, he's running around in a G string, high, fucking goes to see Ryan Garcia. Remember that video, bro? His eyes are
Yeah.
just fucking bulging out of his head.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
It's. I'm not sure he's not going to get laughed at, and that's a black eye for us to have a fighter of his degree go to the MMA world and actually not get responded in respectful manner, in respectful way, but actually have people like, look at the dope heads here. Like, come on, Oscar. Like, I don't know if he's thinking this one through, and I don't see Dana White doing anything for him, man.
No.
I
No.
don't think like he really. I don't think Dana would have him walk out with him like he had Tucker and
Mm,
Donald Trump and those guys.
no.
Oscar, Mike Tyson walked out with them.
Mm.
Oscar and him have too much beef.
Yeah. And you know what? Dana is a very what's the word? Um damn, not bitter. Maybe I'm thinking about a different word, but he
Ego
has
driven.
well that too, but he has beef. He holds grudges. He
Yeah.
holds grudges.
Yes.
He will like. There's one particular occasion in the UFC where a fighter threw a fucking punch at another fighter after the fight ended. Basically, they kind of came to one another to like hug, and he fucking swung at him. Right. So the referee split him up. Right. And immediately Dana White was like, "Fuck this. This guy's never fighting the UFC again. Fuck out of here." Right. So and rightfully so. Okay, I get it. But like to this day, and this was like 2007 or some shit. Like to this day, he's not, I mean, and the guy's since retired, of course, but
Right.
stuff like that, like he holds those kinds of grudges. You know what I'm saying? He has a grudge with Tito Ortiz, and he's always clowning on him, stuff like that. So he doesn't let this shit go. I highly doubt he will let any of that beef that he has with Oscar or had, whatever, go and be like, oh yeah, cool. Because look, here's the thing: the wrestling promoter Vince McMahon, the CEO of WWE, that dude, he never holds grudges. And not to say that he doesn't have beef with people, he does. But if he thinks he can make money with you, he can give a fuck, what happened with you before. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He
Right.
goes that direction. That's just kind of the way he was. And because of you see his product, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Dana White is not like that. Like he doesn't give. I can imagine maybe more. It could potentially bring more eyes to that pay per view if everybody knows that Oscar's going to be there. He still wouldn't do that shit. Dana still wouldn't allow it. So he holds grudges like that, and he's kind of a petty motherfucker sometimes. So I'm certain. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we find out this isn't the case. But Dana White is petty as can be, and chances are he's not gonna fucking answer that call, or maybe at least to be petty, will answer the call and be like, "No, fuck you," and then hang up on Oscar or something like that. But
Yeah. Or let him come as a regular fan. Be
I
like, all
might
right,
be.
yeah, you're gonna come. Go purchase a ticket. I got a number for you. Got a real good ticket guy, but I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not getting in for free. You ain't sitting in no
Uh,
luxury box with me. That I don't know what the fuck you're thinking on that side.
mm,
And he would probably look a lot better if he recorded him actually laughing and hanging up.
yeah. I mean,
Seriously.
can you imagine if he like Oscar out in the middle of the crowd? Like he's never gonna do that, right? Of course not. Either it's front row where all the rest of the celebrities are in those like fancy suites or whatever, but he's not gonna be amongst the regulars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's gonna be out there trying to scalp tickets or some shit at the arena. I don't know if that's gonna work that way, but yeah, that's crazy. But on the subject of tickets, the second part of that story is the price drop of the UFC card. Damn, and I didn't know that they would, we didn't think they would drop the prices, but I had no clue that they were going to start with the prices that high to begin with. I get it. It's the Sphere. It looks bomb ass. I even saw him. I follow this guy on Instagram. His name is Coach Greg Adams, and he's here in Vegas. He's a Raiders fan. He comes regularly to Raider games, and he got a tour on a chopper that went over the Sphere, and they had these really cool UFC graphics, like boom, 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 Noche, UFC, whatever, right? Because it's also Riyadh season or whatever there too, because
Yeah.
he's got his His Excellency has his hands there as well, and it looked awesome. You know, the fucking design and everything, the pattern. It was just like, holy shit, how much money they're putting into this for these kind of ticket prices. Like, goddamn, I don't know. I would never. This is like I think you mentioned it. This is like Taylor Swift shit. Paying this kind of amount of money for a goddamn ticket for a fight. I've never I paid hefty prices for I paid like $500-600 for tickets. I'll say that. That's probably as much as I've ever paid for any ticket to any sort of sporting event. And it's the sport I fucking love, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
Combat sports. Dude, I would never justify. How can I justify to myself spending $1,000 on a ticket, let alone $2,700? Now they're $760. Well, that's another story. But that's a hit. That's a crazy hit that they had to take to fucking drop those ticket prices.
It's a crazy hit for the UFC. I always thought that when I first found out how much these were. I got a hold of you right away. What the fuck's going on? I kind of seen the writing on the wall. Then when you told me it was girls, you told me it was their third fight. Like, what the fuck? Is this Ali versus Frazier? Like, what?
Yeah.
There's 2 women that are demanding. No. Now it's a new main event. And I got to tell you, I've seen the commercial that's advertising this fight on the football today. I was like, oh, wow. We have a commercial for the event. Not even a Canelo commercial, not one. But I seen the Noche. What a weak-ass commercial. It literally shows the sphere. It shows the 2 fights. Says nothing about the opponents, not their name. Just shows their names. But doesn't give you none. It's like they bought 30 seconds, right? And just showed you the 2 names, the sphere, and said, come out next Saturday. Then it's done. I was like, what kind of commercial is that? You don't want to, O'Malley is, give us something. Give us a minute worth of talking or some shit. It was a weak commercial. Never understood this card here. I think it works for boxing. I'm sorry. I think Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis does sell out the sphere. Sorry. I think Evander versus Lewis does sell it out. Sorry. I think boxing does demand that kind of money. Our fans are used to paying that type of money. And if that event is big enough and that place is pretty enough, the rich will spend the money to see it. Boxing has always, we've had ticket prices at $20,000. Come on now. Let's be real. $20,000 to watch a front row seat. $3,000 ain't shit to us. $6,000 ain't shit to us. I'm just spitting facts here. I've always called my sport a rich man's sport. You've either had to have HBO, cable, fucking ESPN. Now you have to have every fucking platform, it seems like. Right? It's always been that way. It's a poor man's sport as far as the guy, the drive you need to compete in it. But a rich man's sport to watch this damn thing.
Be a spectator. Yeah.
Yeah. That used to be my argument whenever anyone would tell me it was a fixed sport. Swear to God. I'd go, I know how you feel. And spending the money to watch it is a lot too. So I'd rather say it was fixed too. That's not the reason. Yeah, whatever. Fuck out of here. I watch football, Miguel.
Yeah.
I watched them take a penalty away, first down away from the Raiders today. Swear to God, the guy's like 6 feet over the first down line. They literally, I'm not going to get started. They literally, hey, bro, we're all watching. Yeah. Why do you give us the marker and then we see him make it past the marker and then tell us he didn't pass the marker?
It's like 4th and inches. Like, what? No, damn it.
Just fucking take the thing away and, then we might feel better. Fuck out of here. But anyways, so don't tell me that my sport's just the only one fixed. So I used to say that all the time. It's a rich man's sport. So I do think boxing, some fights, not all fights. Give me De La Hoya, motherfucking Trinidad. We're selling out the sphere, baby. I'm sorry. Yeah. We're selling out the fuck. That fucking place sold out the casino. That's it. Give me De La Hoya Chavez. We're selling out the fucking sphere, Dana. Sorry. You ain't us, buddy. And your biggest, make this the biggest Mexican event of all time. Fuck out of here. Like Berlanga on Canelo's wet dream. Like Berlanga. When Berlanga's pumping the air, that poor kid. That's going to follow him until his grave.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember when Canelo said you were dreaming about him, and then you started humping the air like a dog, eh?
Yeah. And then he beat you. He beat your ass in the ring. Yeah. All that together.
Oh, that's together.
Jeez. Oh God. Uh, well,
He,
uh, just want to throw that in there because we needed to. We just had to.
ay, ay, ay.
But on the subject of Oscar, let's see if I can bring this shit back up again. One of the recent cards that Oscar is going to put
Oh yeah.
together, right? This is one of the things we applaud Oscar for, not the other shit. But this is one of the things we put together. Let me just if I can find the damn post. But apparently, it's going to be another pretty solid card. If I can just pull this shit up here real quick. Where the fuck did it go? We're on live TV here, guys. I can't even fucking find. Here we go. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have a main event of Zurdo Ramirez, Gilberto Ramirez making.
This is Riyadh.
Yes, this is Riyadh season, right? Saudi Arabia, according
Saudi
to this.
Arabia. There we go.
Golden Boy / The Zone. That's the streaming service that Golden Boy's on. Gilberto Ramirez returns to the ring to take on Chris Billum Smith. Not familiar with that guy, but clearly it's going to be a cruiserweight because he has himself a cruiserweight belt. Ramirez, I'm talking about. I'm not familiar with Chris Billum Smith, but fuck it. Let's go ahead and get that crack-a-lackin'. The co-main event. This co-main event is a main event on a regular DAZN card, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez, right, former unified 140-pound champ, taking on Arnold Barboza Jr. Hell fucking yeah. I've been waiting for this fucking fight ever since, it was announced that Barboza signed with Oscar. And then later on, Jose Ramirez, I said, I know exactly what the fuck Oscar is doing. Yes, let's go ahead and bring this fight together. Jose Ramirez, Arnold Barboza Jr. as the co-main event. Beneath that, we have William Cepeda against George Kambosos Jr. Oh shit, right? We know who those guys are. And then below that, we have Oscar Duarte against Kenneth Sims Jr. Not too familiar with Kenneth Sims, but I'm sure I'll look him up here shortly. We all know Oscar Duarte, a former Ryan Garcia opponent. Damn. Okay. Shit. According to this here, this is reported on ESPN, scheduled to go down November 16th in Saudi Arabia. Shit. Well then, this is if this was on the the what is it, Amazon Prime card.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for free, fantastic. Pay-per-view, shit, I'll fucking buy it. Now, this sort of kind of ties in with a little bit of a different story.
Yeah.
That we're talking about here. Apparently, His Excellency is willing to go down to $20 pay-per-views. Now, I don't know if there's an official one yet already. If they're gonna go immediately to the AJ and Dubois pay-per-view as a $20 one. I'm not sure. I thought I've read that. I've heard
I
rumors.
think I read that too, Miguel.
So
I think I read
that's
that
the
too.
first one they're gonna go with. If this fight was a pay-per-view, I would be, I'm totally down to pay 20 fucking bucks for it. But to mix these two stories together, holy shit! First off, Andrew, what do you think about this card? Holy shit, it looks stacked, huh?
This is an excellent Saturday night. Every fight there, because I believe Kenneth Sims is undefeated. Oscar Duarte is a great opponent. Yeah, you can look him up. I think we did on this one. But excellent fight. Cepeda, Cambosos, come on. This is what Cepeda needs right here. This is obviously the fight that's going to get him into Shakur, right? And we can talk about that little announcement about Golden Boy's already working with His Excellency on a Ortiz main event with possibly Shakur and Cepeda on the undercard. Huge. What I'm kind of saying about Shakur and Cepeda now are probably like fuck everyone else, right? They're only working with his, he's got plans for these guys, right? He's got money for these guys. Like, you're kind of dumb if you're not signing with Riyadh right now or Mr. Alashikh. Excellent card though. Ramirez Barbosa, agree with you. When they first rumored that this was going to take place, it's been an exciting fight ever since. I know Barbosa didn't have the greatest come out party with Golden Boy, but that's one fight. This is still a very good action-packed fight. And then you got the return of Ramirez. Like you, I'm not familiar with Chris Smith, but Gilbert Ramirez, I'm willing to $20 pay-per-views. Listen, I know I've been big on the Netflix streaming thing. I'm okay with $20 pay-per-views until we get to the streaming app, right? If that's what we have to do, that I'm cool with that. That's a blessing, man, for some of us. that love this sport, that like watching boxing, and sometimes we have to bite the bullet because there's just too many pay-per-views or too much going on. We
Yeah.
can't afford everyone.
Hmm. Hmm.
I guarantee you, Mr. Alashikh, I can afford every motherfucking $20 pay-per-view you
Right.
put out there. My
Mhm.
wife is so happy.
Yeah,
She'd be
dude.
like, you're rich. Go ahead."
Yeah, exactly. I sometimes with pay-per-views, I'll order them depending on what platform I use, and I'll just bill it to myself. I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll pay it later. I don't pay it right now. It's like I'll pay the $20 right now, son. Like I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. Here you go. Shit. Let's go ahead and put the card right now. I'm down with something like
Yes.
that. I don't know
Yes.
if this particular card is that, but if it is, I have no problem, paying $20 for something like that. But that's a good, I like. And again, we don't want to stroke His Excellency's ego any more than it already is, but to go, for $20 pay-per-views, that's pretty solid. Like I'd be down for that. Like that's a good
We
fucking thing.
have to respond.
Yeah, right,
The
exactly. Like
boxing world has to respond for us to keep this. Can't be doing lives. Can't be pirating fights, you guys, when he's
for
offering
20
it for
bucks,
20
no.
bucks,
Yeah,
man.
don't buy Starbucks for a week, and I'm sure you can afford a fucking
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
dude, there's so much you do at 20. $20 is a lunch nowadays in San Francisco, bro. Or is it in Vegas
Oh
too?
yeah,
I know it's
yeah,
expensive. It's a
everywhere.
fucking breakfast sandwich.
Mhm.
Um, a pack of cigarettes is like fucking $14 now. Like, come on, dude, $20 to get into the game, and then our TVs are bigger, they're better. You got surround sound. He's giving us big fights for $20. We can't let this go.
Mhm.
This is something you invest in. It sucks. It sucks if the zone gets away from all their fights being regular free.
Mhm.
Like if this is what we're gonna do from here on out, is everything's $20? Why am I really paying for the zone then?
Right, right, exactly. What's the point of having the subscription at that point? Because it's already $20. It's like 19.95 or some shit.
Yeah, and if you're not showing me the fights that I want, I got to watch some dudes from England and Africa fight on a Saturday morning,
Right.
and my Americans are coming on later on $20 pay-per-views. Think we got a problem, DAZN.
Yeah.
I think you let the fucking fox into the hen house, buddy. About to take your fucking subscription money, buddy.
Hmm. Yeah. Because I know I'll
Eddie,
be ending my fucking subscription.
Eddie's
I'll pay for
all,
the $20, huh?
yeah, Eddie's all, wait a minute. He's all, this is not adding up.
Yeah. It's like, hold the front door. How come our subscriptions dropped? His Excellency, what do you have to say about this? It's like, no, no, I $20, $20. Like, I heard that already. I need an explanation for the rest. $20. Like, no, no, you're not understanding what the fuck I'm saying. Uh, but yeah, that's cool. That'd be badass if they can put on good cards like this or like this one. Starting with of course Dubois and AJ. All right, I'm
And
down with
remember
that.
the card that they did for the UK when they did Eddie Hearn and Warren,
Oh yeah,
right?
Queensberry 5-on-5. That's
Queens
right.
5-on-5. They've done a big card for them. Now they're bringing Oscar, gets his little card on. We're doing okay with him. It sucks for you guys to have to travel all the way to Saudi Arabia. I wouldn't look forward to that. I would not want to be doing that trip either. It's an experience. You could take it as that, you know what I mean? But it sucks if that becomes the new mecca of boxing. But whatever. It's got to go where the money's at right now.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just pray that there still remains a mecca of boxing,
Yeah.
somewhere. It's not just completely dissolves and evaporates. It's like no more, NYC, no more Madison Square Garden, no more Vegas. Now we gotta go with fucking. All right, as long as it's somewhere, shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's affordable for us to pay. I'm down to watch it. Yeah, it sucks for the fighters having to go over there, the jet lag, having the weight cut and everything. But they're professionals. They can do it. It's not like
Yeah.
it's the first time they've done it before when they fly to Japan. It does happen, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I'm down with that. I'm down with the $20 pay-per-views, and above all, this fucking card. It looks badass. I mean, Jesus, just Barbosa, like I said earlier, Barbosa and Ramirez in and of itself could be a main event on DAZN. Cambosos and Zepeda will be a
Cepeda.
main event
Yeah,
on a
dude.
fucking
Yep.
DAZN card.
Yep. And
Uh,
Ramirez is right there for Benavides.
mhm.
He's right there. It's a big Mexican showdown if they could get those two ready, because you know that His Excellency already wants it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
all Ramirez has to do is keep winning. Just keep winning. You'll have a big fight here soon. So Yep.
Yeah, we didn't get that fight at 168, but maybe we can get it at cruiserweight.
Yeah.
All right, so that leads us on to the main story of the in our show here is the pay-per-view we're gonna have this weekend. Canelo Alvarez taking on Edgar Berlanga, putting his unified belts on the line. Not considered undisputed anymore because they stripped him of one belt or some shit. But whatever, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what the fuck belt it is. But regardless, he's the man at 168. Canelo, I'm talking about, and he will be defending his championship, his lineal championship, against Edgar Berlanga. So there's going to be, some cards, some fight on the undercard of the co-main event being Landy Lara taking on Danny Garcia for Lara's WBA middleweight championship. Below that, we have Caleb Plant versus Trevor McCumbee. It's going to be at super middleweight. No championship there. Chances are it'll be 10 round. Then Rolando Romero taking on Manuel Jaimes or James. I'm sorry how you pronounce that. And then what seems to be the pay-per-view opener, Stephen Fulton returns after his loss to Inoue, taking on Carlos Castro. Now, the main ones we want to talk about, of course, are the three top ones. And we can toss in, Rolando Romero against Manuel James, but I don't know if Rolando's even on that level. I'm down with just talking about the three main ones: Caleb Plant and McCumbee. I'm not calling McCumbee, and then Laura Garcia. Then, of course, the main event. So. First and foremost, Caleb Plant against McCumbee. We pulled up McCumbee, right? He's undefeated, right? That's what it was.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. So, let me see. I'm trying to pull him up right now to see like who he has fought as far as recognizable names. Not that I see here. I think he had one no contest. His last fight was back in January, so a little over, 8 months or so of. Oh no, we're talking about January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, cool. About 8 months or so, roughly. And he's fighting somebody like Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant is a little too smart for McCumbee. I want to say I've seen a couple of McCumbee's fights when he was with Top Rank. He does take a lot of punishment. He does take a lot of shots. Not that Caleb Plant is necessarily a knockout puncher necessarily, but I think he'll be able to school him. I guess this is more. I think is more of a showcase fight for Plant, even though McCumbee is undefeated. So, this seems to be most likely a decision win for Caleb Plant. I'll see if I can, get some footage of him this weekend when I see him, or later this week when I go to the MGM Grand. But that's gonna be a pretty decent fight. I'm down with it. Plant. I like seeing fighters stay active, and Plant is back, so I'm down with this. And what do you think about this one here, Andrew?
We won't know who McCumbee is until the fight takes place. I kind of like when a showcase fight has an undefeated opponent, though, right?
Okay.
Because there's always the unknown. And if there is an upset, guess what? We have a new star. Not a superstar, but a rising star potentially in the sport. He's undefeated and a nice win over an ex-champ like Caleb Plant, who's really not past his prime. You would still say Caleb's right in the middle of the mix. Would be an excellent win for his start in the career. So until that bell rings and you see what kind of level his undefeated record is at,
Oh yeah.
at least we have a little bit of a mystery around him on what the fight could be. So it's a lot better than when you see him fighting some guy who's got 7 losses, right? Never heard of him, and he has 7 losses.
And the odds for that fight, as of right now, it stands on the MGM Bet app. Caleb Plant at minus 1400. Good lord. And Trevor McCumbee at plus 650. Yikes. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I guess that's the direction they're going to go with that one.
Do they have a knockout, or is that all they're offering is a straight up win?
Let me see here. On this one, just a straight win. On the app, it does. Maybe like at the if I go to the MGM, which I will be there, I'll grab a slip from there and see if there's any like how over under whatever the hell. I'm not sure if they'll have one for this specific fight just because it's not that important. Maybe they'll have one for the main event. In fact, I'm sure they will. But yeah, as far as I can tell here, it's just the straight money line for Caleb Plant minus 1400, McCumbee plus 650.
I'm gonna go with knockout for Caleb Plant. Write me down for knockout on Caleb Plant. Yeah, right. I think he shines when he gets put in these type of situations. I do believe he's in the middle of his prime right now, so he should be peak form when he steps in the ring against the lesser known, unexperienced or inexperienced McCumbee, look for Caleb to stop him TKO style. How many rounds are we going? 10 rounds?
Yeah, it's an on-title fight, so I think they're gonna go 10.
I'll still say knockout. Fuck it. I know it's hard for 10 rounds, man. The guys can pace themselves to get through the 10, but I'll still go. I think Caleb was gonna shine on this night. Yeah, I'll go Caleb by knockout.
And Caleb did knock out one of the Durrells. I forget which
Of
Durrell it was,
course,
right?
of
So
course, yeah.
he's got the pop. He's got the pop,
Yeah.
right? It's not just the power. When he sits down and throws, especially that left hook, he's good.
That's what I'm going off, Miguel. I think all of his knockouts were against the lesser guys. That's why I said that. I was going not going too far out on the limb. I know someone smarter than me was like, "Motherfucker, that's all he knocked out." Woohoo! Yeah. Now you're starting to get it. You're starting to get it.
It's starting to catch on. You hang out with us long enough, you'll catch on. Jeez. All right, so that leads us to our co-main event with Landi Lara taking on Danny Garcia for Lara's WBA middleweight championship. Lara is 41 now, if I'm not mistaken. And Danny Garcia thinks he belongs in the Hall of Fame. No, I'm just kidding. So, but this is this is Danny's first fight at 160. I want to say he had a fight, maybe two at 154. I don't remember right offhand, but very, very little experience at 154 as it is. And then moving up to 160. I want to say this fight has been in the making for quite some time. I do remember Garcia saying before, I want to say it was before Lara's last fight, that he was going to fight Lara at some point, and if for whatever reason it didn't materialize until now. Not a bad co-main event. I'm down with it. Garcia still sort of kind of within his prime, maybe like the beginning incline? No, decline.
Yeah,
and
decline.
Lara, I don't know. I mean, Lara at this point in his career doesn't have the legs that he used to have, and that's kind of a benefit for us because that means that he can't backpedal as much as he can or as much as he used to, and now he has to plant his feet. Now he has to exchange punches, and sometimes it's worked to his benefit. He's been taking some people out. I think Zarafa most recently took him out in a fucking one round with that sweet ass easy 1-2 combination that dropped him. Sorry, Sam, but it was a one-sided ass whooping. But whether or not he can do that with Danny Garcia, Danny has that that left hook that he throws, that Bernard Hopkins like dig your face to the fucking ground and just swing that shit, because that's what he does. Whether or not he has that power at 160 is another story. Can he land against somebody like Lara? Lara's got pretty decent defense. This one's a tough one. I've kind of gone back and forth on this one. I think Lara is probably going to try to play it safe and end up winning a decision. I want to say they're going to end up going the full 12 rounds. Lara's going to end up keeping his belt. I don't think Danny has the boxing IQ to be able to match with Lara, and with anybody else. And when he was at 140, 147 even, we saw that he had the pop. Even if he was fighting nobodies, he was taking them out. I don't know if he still has that pop at 160, and let alone connect that flush on somebody like Lara. But as I said, Lara doesn't move as much as he used to because he doesn't have the legs anymore. So that's really his only chance, I think, Danny Garcia, is to knock him out. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm leaning towards Lara for 12-round decision. I think he can get away with the victory here and puts himself in a pretty good spot. Maybe a fight with Terence Crawford. But Andrew, what do you think about this?
Danny's power has always gotten him out of sticky situations. Mm-hmm. He's always been hittable. Mm-hmm. Now he's out of the ring for 2.5 years. We'll say over 2 years, and he's 3 divisions away from his best division. I don't even think 147 was his best division. I think it was
he did win a belt, but really against who? It was a vacant belt, and then the few times that Guerrero, thank you. And then the few times that he tried to fight top guys like Porter or Thurman, he lost.
Yeah. So 140 is his best division. So he's 3 divisions away. I like this fight. I like Garcia because Garcia is known in Brooklyn. It'd be awesome if he was to come back and win a title. That's a great story. I don't bet on stories. I bet on who I think is going to win the feather.
I don't bet on feel-good stories that make me like that. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I stopped doing that a long time ago. I got Lara by TKO late rounds, dude. Look, I got
You think you can stop him?
yes, because he gets hit so much, and if his power is not there, then he's gonna be a walking punching bag for an excellent precision puncher that Lara is. So I like Lara by knockout late in the fight. Um, I would even take the under. Maybe hedge, not hedge my bet. That's not the right term, but maybe play it safe. And if they're giving me an under 10.5, I'm just taking the under, not the winner.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now I get both guys,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely don't see it going the distance. Or I'd rather bet that it doesn't go the distance on this one. And I'm leaning towards Lara. He's been more active. I think you're totally right on his legs aren't there anymore. He had to settle down on his punches. And guess what? It's worked. I want to say he has 3 out of 4 knockouts in his last 4 fights. Like, I believe his power is that big at middleweight. I know one of the kids, he knocked out a young prospect. I'm forgetting the young man's name.
That dude was out for a minute. It was a scary knockout too.
It was a scary knockout. Yeah, but it was a stepping stone. That kid thought, damn, what was his name? It was on the tip of my tongue. He thought he was, going up in the world, and Lara fucking humbled him. But it was a great knockout. Then he has the Zarafa knockout, and I'm missing one other one, but I believe I looked it up where he has 3 knockouts out of his last 4 fights. So his power is becoming a presence at the middleweight division. Danny's not a middleweight. Danny gets
unproven.
punched.
His power is unproven at middleweight.
Yeah. And then not only that, he's just not a middleweight. His body size, he was never big. I didn't never seen 160 for Danny. He might be fat Friday. Right? He might not even look good on the scale.
That might be one of the reasons why he's at 160. He's stepped too much time away from the fucking ring, too much relaxing, and he's mentioned that he's had some like mental health problems, right? So I get that, but that's still time outside of the ring, regardless. I don't even think he's confident enough that he can make 154 anymore. So he's like, fuck it, just go to 160 and see, and roll the dice at 160 and see where it goes. And it landed him a potential, win for a title over somebody like Lara. But yeah, we might see a fat Danny Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah, that is, so that makes me even more happy about the Lara by knockout. If they're not doing the prop bets, but if they are doing the prop bets and it's 10.5 rounds, give me that on the under. So, yep. So I got Plant by, and I'm writing these down. What are you writing? Are you writing yours down?
No, I don't write that.
Come on, Plant by decision.
Okay. Yeah, and Lara by decision. This is a typical PBC card. Sorry, guys, we're gonna go 12 rounds.
Damn it!
Sorry, this is just the direction it's gonna end up going. I don't see. I mean, I just don't see. I've seen Macumbi fight. I've seen him take some shots. I didn't think Plant would be able to finish him.
In Miguel's world, the pay-per-view isn't worth it. In my world, dude, you got 2 knockouts coming already, you guys. Fuck, eh?
You guys can decide which is side you want to side with on this one here. It's like, all right, is it worth paying this amount and see some great fucking knockouts, or is it I'm gonna stream this shit and then I'm glad I didn't pay for it because they're all PBC shit. But
it's a draw. It's a draw. Oh fuck!
It's like, okay, I put it on the under and it ended up being a draw anyway. Fuck. But wouldn't be some shit. Those 2 draws. Good lord. Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's a PVC, man.
Right. So that leads us to our main event of the evening. Who do you think is going to be the ring announcer here? You think it's going to be Buffer, or is it going to be, because it's a PBC card, right? So I thought, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Oh yeah, no.
But it's the Zone, so that's like, is it David Diamante? Is it going to be David Diamante?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just him this time. It's just the Zone. There's no Rehad. Rehad was bringing in. Yeah, it was Rehad who was bringing in Buffer. It was his Excellency. So when it's only the Zone, it's the other guy. It's the braid. It's the braids. The dreads.
The dreads. We interviewed him a few years back. He was kind of cool dude. All right, so that leads us to our main event. Canelo Alvarez, Saul Canelo Alvarez, taking on Edgar Berlanga for the WBC, WBA, and WBO Super Middleweight Championships. Also, the lineal title, the Ring Magazine, of course, Alvarez has. So this one, could this one be the easiest one of, and I don't say easy in the ring per se, but the easiest one to call of the whole card? for Berlanga, for as much as he's been hit, because he has been hit before, he's been dropped by unheralded fighters. So it's not like he doesn't get hit and he can get hurt. He has been hurt. Um, I don't see this fight going the distance. Um, this is not going to be Canelo Munguia, mind you. I anticipate Berlanga being a lot more active than Munguia. He already has been, as far as like his mouth goes, right? He's already talking mad shit, and we have a little bit more of an even exchange when on the mic, at least. So right off the bat, we know we're going to get a different opponent than Munguia. And Berlanga, I think Berlanga might play it safe at first, and he's gonna let. It seems that this happens regularly. He lets his emotions kind of take over sometimes. I think there's going to be a point where Canelo's going to tag him and he's going to be like, oh shit, okay, let's go, bang the gloves and start going. Comes in a little reckless and Canelo catches him. I think that's how it's going to end up happening, how the fight ends. So I'm going to say it's going to be a Canelo knockout. That's where I'm leaning at. It's not going to go 12 rounds unless maybe, Canelo does what he did to Munguia. Did you see that the video of like a couple of times, or at one particular time, where Canelo landed on Munguia and then he kind of like clinched, and then supposedly some words were exchanged between them, specifically Canelo, like, and this is just a rumor, right? In Spanish, says to him like, "Come on, motherfucker, take it, motherfucker, take it." You know what I'm saying? Like, be a fucking Mexican and stand up to this shit. And they go to the 12 rounds. So I don't think it's gonna happen here. There is that Mexico Puerto Rico rivalry going, even though Edgar is from New York, but still of Puerto Rican descent. So that counts to some degree. I'm sure the Puerto Ricans are going to be rooting for him that night. But I anticipate Canelo finishing Berlanga. I'm gonna say after the half. I'm gonna say after the sixth round, probably seventh. I'm gonna go for seventh. So I think Canelo ends up stopping Berlanga in the seventh by knockout. In that fashion, I think like Berlanga starts to get a little reckless when he realizes that the fight is slipping away and he's getting tagged too much. Comes in, gets caught. So that's the direction I'm going. Andrew, what do you think of that?
Darn it, Miguel.
You're in deep thought. I can see.
I told you I didn't want to bet on Canelo by knockout anymore. Damn it, I've done it like 4 times in a row.
Did I just accidentally convince you then?
Yeah, you're starting to sound good again on the knockout. But darn it, Munguia sounded like a knockout. When he fought the 154-pound Charlo, it sounded like a knockout. Oh my God, that sounded like a knockout. He was 154 pounds, Miguel. He moves up 14 and goes 12 rounds.
Oof. Yeah. Well, but Charlo didn't really risk much. Charlo didn't really attack much. Didn't open himself much. So maybe there were just fewer targets, right?
Yeah, he was playing defense. He was. Yeah. He even went to a knee.
A little bit harder.
Yeah, he even went to a knee to try to last the round. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll take you on that.
Yeah. Berlanga doesn't fight that way. He's maybe a little bit more reckless. Huh?
Yeah. And he's been dropped. We've seen him dropped with the right hand that we know Saul is going to land. Mm-hmm. Oh, is he going to land that counter right hand? I would like to look at the under again. This is another fight where I might take the under. Mm-hmm. Even if they're giving me 8.5 rounds, I still might take the under because I don't see Berlanga getting lucky as the fight gets later. So if he gets lucky, it's going to be early. He gets a cold Canelo by surprise, and then Canelo is going to have him out. If this fight is going how it on paper it should go, no experience, had to bite a lesser opponent, been dropped by lesser opponents, never fought a top 10 opponent. Like there's so much.
You're in the headlights.
There's so much unknown. Canelo might do this to him. The kids are gonna go, ah! Like,
yeah.
Dad. That's a Canelo. Hey, Canelo should have heard him and then start jerking his shit. That would be fucking classic. You dreamed of me tonight. How about that?
You have wet dream of me tonight, young man.
So yeah, it's hard to say Berlanga's gonna win this fight, man. Even
if you want to sleep on it for a couple more minutes, I forgot to mention this before. The Lara and Garcia odds. I forgot to throw that in there before we moved on to this one, right? So Lara is at -250. a favorite, but not
Okay.
that much of a favorite. And Danny Garcia at plus 175. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad actually.
He
That
must
one's a
not
little bit
look
more.
so fat.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. Well, I'll see him on Tuesday. I'll see him come
Right.
into the. I'll try to zoom in on his fucking shirt to see if he can see any sort of spare tire or anything like that on him. But I think you're right. He might not be as fat as we think he is.
Those are very close odds, man. For him
Yeah.
coming off of 2 years,
Mm.
those are some close odds. Didn't think he was really a gambling favorite or a gambling. He wasn't popular with the bettors, right? But some reason the odds are opening very close on that fight. So yeah, that's pretty good. I still will take Lara. Does it say anything about prop bets or no?
Not on that one, but there is on Canelo
We'll
and
check
Berlanga.
on
So
the.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
there is on. Yeah, and when I get to the MGM, I'll check for that. But on the app, at least, I only see them for Berlanga and Canelo, which we'll talk about here shortly before after you give us your prediction and whatnot.
My prediction, straight up gun to the head is Canelo to take this fight. I'm gonna say decision because I feel like if I have Plant win by a knockout and if I have Lara win by a knockout, my parlay ticket's looking pretty good right now. So I'm gonna play it safe because Canelo's burned me a lot, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I do like your angle about the Puerto Rican thing, though. What I like about that, bro, is Canelo has always loved to represent the Mexican people, represent the country, right? There's no better way to represent us than knocking out Puerto Ricans, right? In boxing, that's what Mexicans love to do. Ask Bob Arum. He's great at this conversation. He sounds racist as shit. He's like,
Yeah, he doesn't give two fucks.
Nothing better than a Mexican and a Puerto Rican.
If
they do this right here.
If he was able to get in the ring and be like, "Are you ready? Ready? Let's get it on," he would be the fucking ref just for the sake of.
Watch, these guys are gonna kill each other. Watch. Like
Yeah.
Bob, stop! You can't sound. It's kind of dark, Bob.
Yeah.
Do you know where they come from? No, Bob.
You know what they call these guys in my living room? No, Bob. We don't want to know about that shit, Bob. Please, no. We just want to see them fight. Just let them enter the ring and fight and do their thing and collect their paychecks.
Shit.
At least he
got Bob down. We do Bob pretty good. Everyone else butchered his shit.
Well, Bob's American, so maybe we don't.
Yeah, he's a mad American.
Yeah.
You got to do a mad old man. You got Bob down.
Yeah, you got Bob down pretty good. Top rank Bob. That's what he called him on Fight Net. Top rank Bob.
Top rank Bob. Yeah. So yeah, dude, I'm liking the under for that fight. That to me is playing. Or no, Canelo straight up. Sorry. You give me the prop. What's the prop on the under? Now let's get into the prop because that might change it.
So shit. It only gives me method. It doesn't even give me the over under part.
Okay.
It says first off, just a straight money line. Canelo at minus 1,600. Good lord.
Eesh.
And Berlanga at plus 800. Shit. So that's just a straight money line, right? Then Canelo by TKO, KO, or DQ minus 275. Okay, doesn't seem like DQ, but they for some reason they combine the DQ with the KO or TKO. So most likely Canelo by KO or TKO minus 275. So they seem that means it's more likely to happen, right? Yeah. So Canelo on points, so going the full 12 rounds plus 275.
Wow. I'm taking that, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's a plus. Look, you would be so much in the positive on a Plant by knockout, and you can confirm this when on fight week or whatever when you go there to see the props. Could you imagine a plus 275 from Canelo at the end of this ticket on 2 knockouts? Yeah, you're looking at big money, dude. That's a nice because man, Canelo, man, he likes the decision. He has like 4 or 5 of them in a row, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
When was the last time that he finished an opponent?
Is it Billy Joe?
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it might be
Sanders.
Yeah. Holy fuck! Wow, that was a while back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just going off memory, so we're not sure that's true, but most likely you're right. Okay. Then Berlanga by KO, TKO, or DQ plus 1,200. Wow. And then Berlanga on points plus 2,000. Good Lord. And then a draw or tie as they have it here, but a draw is plus 2,500 for a draw. So no over unders, at least not on this slip here, because they're not representing it on the app itself. But when I head down to the MGM on 2 separate days, Tuesday and Wednesday, I will definitely make sure to pull that up and see if they do have those over unders. Then I'll figure out a way to get on it.
He had back-to-back knockouts, Caleb Sanders and Plant in
Okay.
2021. Then he loses the B-Ball, and then he has 4 decisions in a row. He even went decision with John Ryder.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
right. Yeah.
It's hard, man. And listen, Canelo takes a lot of punches in his last 3 fights. Where his head movement. Remember, Canelo was good at the fucking missing 5 in a row, 6 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like there was more and more highlights of him getting touched in those little moments where he's trying to do. Now he like skips 2, but the third one gets him pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Munguia hit him a few times. Ryder hit him a lot of times.
Yes.
Berlanga's 6'1". Canelo's 5'7".
He's 5'7". No shit. He's that short.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? Damn.
I believe so. Here, let me look. I might be wrong.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. Because I don't remember him being that short. I mean, shit. I haven't seen him in person like up close in a while.
Canelo's 5'7.5". What they have on BoxRec, 5'7.5".
Wow. Okay.
And you know what? On one of the things, I already seen 5'8". I know that. So who knows? 5'7", 5'8". He's in there. Berlanga's been 6'1" for a minute. I haven't seen that one fluctuate. And it usually is like that. The big men don't have to. They don't have to throw an inch in.
Exactly. It's like Canelo. Are you wearing fucking insoles in your shoes? Shut up. Just measure the. Okay, you're 5'8" now. Yes.
And hey, I swear to God, he looks up at every dude he's been fighting for like 5 years, dude. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're the same size. They get on the. I'm like, what the hell? He is bigger than him. The fuck is going on? I didn't know Berlanga was that much bigger than him, bro. But he's 6'1" to 5'8". He's been dropped, but we haven't seen him hurt. But dude, there's so much unknown with Berlanga. Yeah, I'm sticking Canelo. I'm sticking with Canelo. I won't chase the money on this one. I'm gonna go decision though. I would go decision. That would be the only chasing that I'm doing on this fight. Is I'm gonna go with the decision and just say Canelo's past his prime, and he's boxing his way to these wins. These guys are all bigger than him, so it's not a knock on him if he can't knock out these guys. You know what I mean? He's looking up at every freaking opponent he's faced here. So yeah, I like Canelo. I'm gonna take Canelo by decision.
All right. I'll take that. That's straight money line. I'm down with that. That's again, it's a PBC card, right? So the decisions are going to be plenty, in my opinion, at least, but not according to Andrew. But that sounds like a good one. I mean, I'm down. I'm okay with that. We're kind of already used to Canelo going 12 rounds, so I don't mind seeing him going 12 rounds. I don't know if he had pulled it up or not, but has Berlanga gone 12? I don't think he's gone 12, right? He's only gone 10. Because I know that he had his knockout streak going, and then I think at some point it ended at like 16-0, at the 16 win mark, where somebody actually lasted the 8 rounds or whatever the fuck it was, and then so that knockout streak of his ended, and then he's gone some decisions since then. He has taken some people out. I'm not gonna say that he didn't pick up the streak again, but I don't know if he's ever gone 12.
I think with Jason Quigley. I see a scorecard of 118 to 106.
Okay.
That's 12.
Yeah, you're right.
12 rounds. And then, so this one, 10-round fight with Alexis Angulo. Steve Rolls, 10-round fight. So he's only done it once, Miguel. One fight of 12 rounds. There's so much unknown.
Well, and he granted it with somebody like Quigley, but he mopped the floor with him according to those scorecards. So it wasn't like it was a close decision or anything like that with Quigley. All right, cool. Well, That
I'm
pretty
going
much,
to Reno, baby.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going.
yeah.
I'm going to Reno with those pics right there. I'm about to take a picture to send it to my wife.
Yeah, be like road trip, sweetheart, road trip. Yes.
She already rented a car. She already has one on hold.
Oh, what?
Yeah. We're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. We already
Uh,
have a card on hold just in case we want.
so you guys don't take your SUV when you guys go?
Heck no. I've never have. I
Uh,
never, even when I take the kids to LA, we've always rented cars. I don't like putting miles. I've never wanted to be on the road and my car break down, dude. So I rent cars that I know are all good and we're fucking out. And if it breaks down, we're on the road going, hey, your fucking car broke down. Oh, all right, we'll get you another one. Be on your way. Then you're gone. Have you ever had that happen?
With a rental or with my
Yeah,
personal
with the
car?
rental. Have a problem with the rental?
No.
I got ran over one time by a truck out there in Vegas. Dude just
What?
ran over my hood. Yeah, I don't know what the
Oh
fuck.
shit! Over
We're
your hood?
both at a stop sign. I told
Like
him
T-boned you, kind of like
he just went over me like one of those big, what is it called? Those big wheel cars?
yeah, those
Big wheel
trailers. Yeah.
monster trucks? Fucking just went right over my hood. Me, Willie, and Mario Serrano, eh? We were on the car like, what the fuck, bro? Got jumped out of the car. He takes off. I forget what casino we're at. He's all tearing up the parking lot trying to find an exit because there's not that many exits.
Yeah.
Finally, just like goes over an island, gets on to Las Vegas, one of the Las Vegas Boulevard, whatever. Takes off. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? He just ran over the hood, told the fucking trashed the car. It's like 2 a.m, whatever. So I called the airport rent a car. I said, hey man, they some guy just hit the car in the parking lot. They call the cops. Cops are like, we ain't doing shit. It was in a parking lot. You need to talk to casino security. Casino security was like, yeah, we're gonna check the cameras, but we won't have any information until probably tomorrow. So here's a number. It's a rent a car, so just give it to them. The rent a car was like, do you have insurance? I was like, yeah, I got the insurance for it. All right, just come and get a new one. You're at, dude. They upgraded me. Gone again. So yeah, that's how I am. I play it safe. Just rent the damn car. So
That's not,
we
it's not
already,
a bad idea. I use my truck because I like putting miles. I like driving in general, but I use my own.
yeah, I told Chris. Me and Chris have probably driven the most car. That's one thing in our life. We've rented so many cars in our life. Everywhere
Yeah.
we go, we've rented a car. So yeah, I have a good idea of what cars I like. I've tried a lot of them.
When I went to go visit you in fucking San Francisco, they were gonna give me some small fucking car, and they ended up giving me some Rav Four or a Forerunner or something like that, like a bigger one. And I was like, okay, cool, fuck yeah. Well, it's not great in downtown San Francisco where the streets are this narrow, and if I miss my exit, I can't bust a U-turn. I have to go into the parking lot.
That's
Go
why
through.
there are so many of them.
Yeah, yeah. That's all. I thought they were like, oh, we'll upgrade. It's like, oh shit, yeah.
We'll
Fuck
get
yeah,
it to
like
you
the
for
king.
$10, dude.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I was like, oh, you guys are great. Damn it, you guys are great. And then I'm trying to fucking pull out of a parking lot. I'm like, I have to go through a drive-through of a fucking Burger King just to have enough space to turn the fuck around. Oh man. Yeah, I learned my lesson. But yes, there's a few times that
Oh,
I've
that's
rented,
pretty good. That's a good one,
a few
bro.
times that I've rented my cars. But yes, by all means, go to Reno. Please have yourself a
Yeah,
good.
man. Might have to make this bet. I like what I said tonight.
All right. That sounds good. That's a nice little prediction show. All righty. Well, excellent show, Andrew. Thank you so much.
Yes.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to us ramble about what's going on in boxing. Make sure to tune in to our channel later this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, because I'm going to try to get some grand arrival footage and some open workout I keep saying open workout, media workout footage on Wednesday. It'll most likely be later in the evening because the thing goes down at 3-4 in the afternoon. I still got to edit the video and post the motherfuckers on there. So keep stay tuned for that because there's gonna be some couple of videos on our channel here in the next week or so. And of course, Saturday, Canelo and Berlanga. We will be back Sunday morning or Sunday evening talking about this again, of course, because we're gonna go over the results and the happenings and where we go from here, depending on the results, of course. So as always, thank you for giving us your time here. Andrew, did you have anything else to toss in before I close it? No.
It's a big fight.
Yeah.
Whatever happens during the week, you might see us again. Friday night, if anything's big at the weigh-ins, we want to change a prediction. Maybe I show a live bet, something like that. I'll be out there. I'll bring the tablet or the laptop so we can hook up in the hotel room. I'll still connect with you. All right.
That works.
All right, bro. That's
Alrighty.
it for me.
All right. Thank you guys once more for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys next week or at some point during the week, possibly. Thank you for joining us. Have a good one. Peace.
This fucking thing. I hit stop. Stop.